Yeah, D-Maw's over here.
Oh yeah, D-Maw's here.
Oh, D-Maw.
with his
sugar cube.
He's still the
his
Cuban
Tic Tacs.
pills.
We're over there
Is this
oogling
like
my
a bomb
booth.
right here?
Did we leave the other guy behind?
Oh, yeah.
He found his way.
Yeah, I got sidetracked by some cool looking stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think the you guys booth over here, like the VR Verdict podcast booth, has gotten quite an upgrade since we were last here.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these
Yeah,
statues. They're great.
Yeah, they're great.
Slowly, they're kind to us and do one or two things a week, and of the list I have I want to do. So
I won't be happy though until I can move these coffee cups. Just saying.
yeah,
My audio's
that's-
so low.
Or we need to get some like beer glasses too. I always pour my beer in glasses, and someone pointed out to the other day that if I just leave it in the the beer glass, that it comes in the bottle and not pour it in the glass, and I can actually drink beer while in VR. So
Yeah,
Like,
way
awesome.
easy, dude. It's way
I'm like,
easier.
so
You
easy to
guys
pour
sit
in
here
the
this whole
glass.
time?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys come from? I was here by myself.
We
We're
were
checking
checking
out
out his
Robert's
booth.
We were
booth.
checking out my
The
booth.
magic of VR.
Oh, I was like,
Mhm.
man, why am I
Oh,
the
speaking
only
of
one
which,
that's here?
D-Maw, I got over 1,000 draw calls running on the Quest 2.
Wow, dude, that's a lot of drug.
It's insane. It's not even optimized yet, but it will be. It gives me great hope that my city's actually going to run properly.
I saw the picture. It looked pretty dense. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's 130 buildings,
Nice.
give or take a few, plus or minus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ever take a mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Still
don't
got to
see
find out
many
where the
games
player's
that
going to be
have
able to
lot
buy
of
a
buildings.
house.
Well, so you guys like Kit Kats, huh?
Oh, you have a week old build.
Oh, I literally just updated it, and like right before I came in,
mine's with a Kit Kat too.
Oh
What Kit Kat?
no, we have Johnny
Like-
J's.
like a minute
Game.
before I.
Yeah, I
So we
see
got
Johnny's
Galactic Bar Fight.
game. Johnny's
Yeah.
game's on here for me.
Yeah.
I,
There's a wall of
I
them.
updated yesterday from the website.
Oh,
Did
How
you
is
delete
it?
the old one?
Yeah.
Maybe you're. Huh. That's bizarre.
Maybe you
Yeah,
downloaded it but
interesting.
accidentally installed the old one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
no,
You just
it was- I mean, 'cause
downloaded it
otherwise
and
my
then
stuff
didn't
wouldn't be
install the
there.
right one.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like
Yeah,
they gave me
no.
they gave me a test build
No.
before.
They for our show, if they're running behind, they'll do like a second, like a 0.5 update for the guest.
Yeah. I had version like 55 for when they were testing my booth, and then I downloaded 55X when
Huh.
I updated yesterday.
That's
yeah,
strange.
I tried to get in here, and it was like you're running an old version, so I had to leave,
Yeah.
update my shit on side quests, and back.
Mhm.
But yeah.
I'll let
I'm
them
gonna
know.
just
That's weird.
sneak
Yeah.
in here.
Hello.
Hey, man.
So, John,
Really
still-
stupid. We should
yeah,
talk about
hello.
the Comic-Con panel too. I was thinking,
yeah.
because I think there's going to be a lot of people there that don't know about VR. So maybe you can kind of do an intro and say, like, if you have a PC, you could do this, or if not, the Quest is only $300, and kind of just do a little spiel about, introduce yourself, what you do, and then do a little spiel about VR in general. If you're interested.
That'd be great.
who
Yeah.
are you talking? Who are you talking to?
Talking to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
We're
doing that? I don't even
posted
know
about
that.
like a Comic-Con panel, and then you're just like, "Oh, do you need like a moderator
Yeah.
or something?" So I was thinking, yeah, we got someone.
Heck yeah,
Just
dude!
kinda
I would
talk
love
about
to. I
VR in
would
general.
love to moderate that. Yeah, I didn't know you're talking to me because I don't think we really talked about it ever since. Like that's all I heard about it. But I'd love to be there. I would
What a
love to.
random
Awesome.
thing to bring up, dude. What the heck, man?
I know, no, I kind
I
of
was like,
cool.
what is he
Like,
talking
if
about?
people offered, and then I wanted to talk to you, and I just kept forgetting, and then I saw you were here, so I was like, "Oh, let me jump on that real quick."
Right on.
I was like, "Yeah, me and Johnny were gonna do, and we were gonna talk about our games, but it's like 50 minutes, so I was like, I don't think I could talk for like
Right.
25 minutes straight by myself, and if it's a
Right.
panel with just two people, that's gonna look weird too. We gotta like kind of fill it in."
Yeah,
I
I
could
agree.
talk for a lifetime. Nice.
I could talk nonstop about VR. Like,
Same.
just, it's so hard to stop. Just the best thing ever.
Right.
I talk too much as it is.
Ooh, I get
Oh
you.
man.
But it's about what you talk about that matters. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
You
Robert?
know what I'm saying?
No spiciness.
No
I
spicy.
didn't see any spicy tweets this week. I don't think.
Wow.
I'm proud
You
of you.
can be as spicy as you want, man. It's
Well,
I know he said he
luckily,
made one, but he deleted it.
I deleted all my spice before anyone could see it. It's all good.
Hell yeah, that's what I do.
I
I
don't
just
know.
delete.
I-
Just delete.
Aim
it.
I
You're
get
gonna
pretty
be
fucking
not where you
hot about the Halo Infinite beta right now, man. There's some problems.
I saw you underneath the map, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, that too. No, I'm just annoyed by 343 pretending what they're doing is for accessibility with their outline system. It's not. It's a lie, and they need to stop.
Right.
What are you talking about?
You know, the friend or foe system for the outline. They got rid of red versus blue.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's it's obviously so they can sell skins and stuff.
It's 100% what it is, and they're
Oh,
pretending it's for
no.
accessibility for
Oh,
colorblind
that's so
people,
funny.
which I am. So that bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
colorblind.
correct.
That's
aim
so
harder.
funny and sad
Mhm.
for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Mhm.
It's for accessibility. No, it's not. Fuck you.
Well, I just
seen
came
the
back to
feature,
a fuck you, what happened?
Oh man.
I know they could just be like, oh, it's to give people more customization. Like everyone will
Yeah,
believe them.
like
Not saying
I'm
people
all,
would like
I'm
it,
all
but they
for
believe them.
customization. I'm all for like them selling skins is fine, but like give me the option of turning on full color models so I can actually see
Yeah.
again. There's like a split second on every firefighter. I'm like, wait a minute, are you a friend or a foe? Oh shit, you're firing me. You're a foe.
Right.
Maybe.
if you have friends like I do, you can't tell anyways.
I mean, yeah, it does that.
That's you. You shoot everybody and you run them
Oh,
over.
that's, yeah. Sorry. Well, because I can't tell who they are.
I hate that stuff though. Like one of the Ghost Recons that came out on like the 360, you had like Middle Eastern fighters and then like Western
Mhm.
fighters. And they're all completely different. You couldn't tell who was a friend or foe at all, but it was like by design. You had
Right.
different, like you had different setups for each side, so you couldn't remember what you had. You couldn't remember who was shooting at you was nice or not. And then there's PJ just in the back. I'm sorry. I'm defusing a bomb, dumbass.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I've ever actually talked to you, Skiva. So hello, by the way.
Hey, how's it going?
Skiva.
What's up? What's up,
Hey.
guys?
A funny
saw-
thing
I
about
saw the-
Skiva here. I don't know if
Yes.
you remember this, but I can't remember his name. You're trying to start like a service, like a group of people to play with if you had no friends. And we played Star Trek Bridge Crew like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
wow.
that's right. Aspen Darkfire. Yeah, he
Yeah,
started
yeah.
that whole thing. Yeah. And we were, yes, dude, that's right. We did play Bridge Crew together. Right
Yeah,
on.
and I was a captain.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
I've played, but I'm not good at it. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna die.
Oh, nice. Nice. Right.
High five.
Batten
we did
down
all
the
right, I think.
hatches.
Yeah, we did.
I was playing. I remember I was playing with a messed up index controller, and it was kept throwing me off pretty bad. Yep, that's right.
We made it work.
Yeah, man, that was great. That was great. Yeah, I saw someone tweeted about this happening, and I was like, oh, I gotta get in there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, we just come here and shoot bazookas at each other for 2 hours. And...
Yeah, we
pretty much.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
time.
that's it.
Pretty much.
I
Bazooka
just thought
party.
you can clip it through the back of their head and just like have the
Yeah, I saw
come out of their camera.
Easier to aim like this. Make it look like it's coming out of my mouth.
Oh, man, I'm so sleepy.
Oh, we got to get him going talking about something. He'll pass out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to start with getting funded, or did we want to talk about booths and stuff? Or
Oh yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, I met with like a VC guy, the guy that represents the venture capitalists, which,
Cool.
if anyone doesn't know, that's just like a big lump of money that people have invested. And there's like always a guy or like a couple guys like in charge of how they invest that to make more money. So this one, they specifically like to invest in like XR and VR, AR, whatever else falls under XR. And yeah, so they really liked the game. Luckily, the guy was kind of already a fan of it. So
Nice.
That's cool.
That worked out. They want a Quest version definitely, but I was like, oh, I'm already doing the PSVR 2. I signed that deal. And they're like, well, what if we get you more people? And I'm like, oh, okay, that could work. And he's like, what if we get you even more people? Then could we get it out by like, quarter Q2 2022 instead of Q4? I'm like, all right, I think maybe. He's like, all right, make me your Christmas list, what you want, and we'll see if we can make it happen. I'm like, all right.
Yo, so they're gonna
That's
like
the kind of funding
that's
I need to find,
awesome.
man.
they're
Shit.
gonna
Right?
find you people to work for you. That's wild.
amazing.
I don't think they'll do that. I think they're just gonna give me the money, but maybe, I don't know. They're like, we're kind of hands on. We have a good relationship with Oculus. Like the guy works for like EA, and like he worked for the
damn.
EA in Mexico for a long time, and then they brought him over here to the EA US, and then he kind of
Ooh.
split off and did his own company or VC
How did you
thing.
find this? Like,
How
how did you come
he's-
across funding for that? Or like,
He's
how'd you come
actually
across
been
the
kind of
people?
following me for a while, and I've
Twitter,
been
bro.
following
Come
him.
on.
And then someone was like, "Hey, let me introduce you to my friend Mario. He's been interested in your game." And so then we kicked it off. But I guess he's already been interested, so it was just kind of like the catalyst. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
and then someone else was like, "Oh, like I've gotten a couple people asking about funding, but you should post more, man. Like your game's
Yeah,
looking
I
cool.
don't-
Like
I
I'm sure
really should
It's
post
fun.
more.
It's Twitter game, and that's where the money.
it's not like a secret game, is it?
I'm
right?
not good
No.
at Twitter. Like, other than spicy tweets, I'm not good apparently. So
This is what I do. Just record a good like bunch of footage in the beginning of the week, and then during the week you can just like cut out like 30-second clips out of
Yeah,
it.
have you seen Tab's like Twitter game, bro? He tweets.
yeah, I have.
Yeah,
It's-
he's got a
like
good
every other
game.
It's a
day,
lot.
Got a
I'm
good
like,
game.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't put out that much.
You can't do that on
content
Reddit. You'll
bro.
piss people off, but Twitter you can get away with that.
Reddit's
Real
fucking
pissy on
ridiculous
Reddit.
anyway.
That's because
I
none
mean,
of
I'll
your
post,
followers will
like,
see your work
Once a
ethic.
month on like Reddit, and people are like, "Why are you posting so much? All I see is this black and white game."
God damn.
That's so
man.
true.
Those are the people
Oh,
who need to stop
God.
scrolling Reddit so much.
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, I'm totally a Twitter junkie though. Like I gotta get
Yeah.
off the platform, man. I feel like I'm on there
Yeah.
like all day long.
Yeah.
Switch-
Everyone's
Check
just
it
so
out
nice
for a
on
few
Twitter
hours a
because
day.
they're only following you
Yeah.
if they like your stuff. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or if they're
it's-
friends with people that
true.
like your stuff, so they probably have similar interests. I don't know how people end up seeing toxic stuff on Twitter because I mean, you just see the people that
Oh,
you
man.
add. So,
Dude, people
Yeah, it's all about-
fight with me all the time. I can't believe how many people I've had to block. Like it's
Yeah,
become
I
so
see you
stupid.
getting in fights on Twitter all the time.
Dude, I know.
I think I come across a lot of that stuff because I follow topics too, not just people. That's probably
Oh,
part
yeah,
of the
follow
problem.
topics. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I'll be like, hey, we got to be nice to each other and provide good environments for each other. And people are like, fuck you, it's a video game, eat a dick. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Oh, God.
I just ate a bag, but okay, one more. Jeez.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? You know?
No. That's what I'm so scared of, that coming into VR, because right now VR is nice and new
Yeah.
and everyone's great,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you're gonna get
The
that
VR chat can
FPS.
get weird.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
that's
mean-
true.
I haven't been
that's
into what
true.
replaced it, but I know Pokemon VR. Like, let me put it this way: I had to mute it when I let my nephews play that game because it was so much cussing. I mean, it was like 10-year-olds cussing, but it was it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah, the free stuff brings a lot of shenanigans with it.
Oh, it does, yeah.
That's-
Very
yep.
true.
Yep, never make your game free. Like, just don't, or it's just going to become
I know,
overwhelmed.
even
with
if it's $2,
toxicity.
it'll filter
Yeah,
people
anything.
out.
Anything will filter
Yeah.
out some of the shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
You told me that like 6 months too late, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy. Enjoy your community.
Right.
Johnny, what have you put out there?
Galactic bar fight. So this booth and stuff. Yeah, that's my game. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. I
FYI,
gotta
Johnny,
check that
he's-
out. Haven't heard
He's
of that.
seeing our booth from last week somehow, so he's seeing Kit Kats and stuff.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying
am.
too.
I
Actually,
am
I don't know what's going
seeing
on.
Oh, how wild!
We got a cool video and a bunch of weapons and stuff.
Oh,
Mhm.
man.
like a whole
Well,
rack
that's
of
some cool
weapons.
stuff.
Yeah, a wall of guns.
Yeah, Johnny was on the podcast last night talking about his game, so we have a wall of like 300 weapons right there.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
see, I don't see that either. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. Well,
Mhm.
dang. Dang.
I was watching on YouTube.
Oh,
I stopped by for like 5 minutes. I was good.
Mhm. I appreciate
Sorry, I
it.
didn't stay
yeah.
longer.
I was asleep, I think. Already in bed, bro. Already in bed.
Don't you wake up at like 4?
Yeah, it's because I'm dealing with these people over in the UK and Australia, and I have to wake up early to talk to them.
And I have a meeting at like 9 o'clock at night, like next week, because my publisher for the PSVR 2 version is in France. So,
Oh wow!
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, let's pick a time that'll be easy for you, like 9 p.m. your time." I'm like, "That's the easy time for me." I guess I just
No,
I'll be talking to them and be like, "All right, well, I'm going to bed because it's 1 a.m. here in France." I'm like, "Oh, my bad."
Right.
I'll be in France in like 2 weeks. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and my employer is in the Netherlands, so I'm always stuck in these weird hour meetings, usually at like 6 in the morning. It sucks.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
and I remember I was
nice.
thinking about working with a publisher for the Netherlands, and yeah, they had like crazy times. I remember one time I met with the guy, and he was like doing his laundry, like while he was meeting with me.
Isn't
Just like,
fast travel games?
I kind of this was like my first publisher meeting too, so I like
No,
dressed up all nice, trying to look all
So
fancy.
Vertigo games.
Did
that's
my
who I work
hair
for.
like.
They're
Oh, that's
in
what
the-
you, I just pitched to you guys the other day.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Awesome. Who did you meet with?
I already forgot his name. I've been meeting
Wow.
with so many publishers that I've already.
Who was
it's all
the
blurring
memorable
together.
one?
Yeah, right. Wow, he must
He
be
was the cool guy.
I haven't tried to meet with any
The
publisher.
memorable one is the
I
one I
guess it's
can't
part of the
talk
problem.
about. I'll have
Right
to
on.
go look. Let me look on the email really quick.
Oh, you're
Away.
flying
Bye.
away.
The email is up in the sky.
It's in the cloud.
On my phone.
It's in the ether.
It's in the cloud. He has to go to the cloud.
Yeah, I love
Got
the
D-Moss
email
Tic
from
Tacs above my head.
Just as fast.
Oh,
Patrick, who's Patrick?
it's spicy.
Do you know Patrick at Fast Travel Games, bro?
Patrick at Fast
Patrick.
Travel Games. No, but I work for Vertigo Games. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. I
Fast
talked to them a
travel.
little bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I said the Netherlands. I was talking about Vertigo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice,
cool.
that's
Right
pretty
on.
cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great place. At least I
How
think
was
so,
the
'cause
process of
Yeah, they're really cool
pitching
guys.
to Fast Travel?
Well, because they just announced, right? They just announced that they
Yeah.
were doing funding, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, we have like a bazillion pitches."
I'm
or
sure.
whatever, but they went through mine, and
Yeah.
then they want to, meet at some point. But,
Nice.
yeah,
Sweet.
so there's
Well, that's awesome.
cool.
Very cool.
Oh, I'm sorry to say no to your game. Your game's looking pretty good. Like,
It's okay.
and you're already starting
It's
optimizing for the quest, which is great. Like,
Yeah.
Awesome. Mhm.
Usually,
What's the name of your game, Demo?
Sushi Ben VR. It's the one
Oh,
with the
I don't
3D comic book panels. You've seen it on
shoot,
It's
I
pretty
don't-
epic.
I
Yeah,
must
it's
have seen
amazing.
it on Twitter. I must
Yeah,
have.
the
Greg,
panels
come
are pretty
on,
amazing.
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
ones with like deers jumping everywhere and like a soda that turns into a
Right.
penguin. And
What? I can look this up like right now.
I
Are
don't wanna spoil everything,
you
but-
Dema on Twitter?
Yeah, Dima Triple X.
All
Yeah.
right.
Triple X.
Well, it's because Dima was taken. All right.
it's like not because I make triple X games.
That's 'cause I made Triple X.
Uh-huh.
Things he's about to do for his VR headset.
Oh, dude, how am I not following you? What the hell?
Yeah, you missed it, Demo.
Oh,
After
man.
our podcast
This looks great.
yesterday, Johnny and
Yeah.
and I were talking how cool your game is. We
Oh,
had a
really?
discussion on you. Yeah.
They wouldn't
Yeah,
shut
I
up
was.
about it.
I was
Oh,
I
wow,
think
this
it's
looks
great,
really
too.
good.
Thanks. The demo's on
Yeah.
itch.io if you ever want to try it.
All right.
Oh, he's
Cool.
looking at it like in
Excellent.
his own thing. That's what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
why he's
what is he
looking up.
looking
That's
at?
what-
Like, I was so
Right?
confused.
Like,
No, no,
look at
yeah,
this
I'm looking
guy.
at
the
my
old
computer.
Kit Kat build also
Oh,
had
it's
his
up in
stuff
this.
here. or something.
Everything's in the cloud.
Everything's in the cloud. Good. Yes.
Quit making
Yeah,
it
dude.
rain.
I've just been meeting lots of publishers and raised lots of funding, and it's fun.
Nice.
Nice.
I loved your
That's good
tweet with
stuff.
just money bag
Dude,
times
because
20.
it was fucking, I wanted to put 250 money bags, but they wouldn't let me. So.
Hey.
Running it back to the
Follow on Twitter.
250th power.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're about to hit our funding goal, and then likely
Wow.
gonna double it soon.
Ooh, damn.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Double decker Ferrari over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I can get all the
Double
funding from this
decker
one investor,
Ferrari.
but if not, I got some other ones lined up.
Oh man.
Yeah. Let's just say
That's
things are
fucking
going well.
Nice.
Can't talk about any of it, but let's just say it's good.
It's here. It's going well for me too. I say if it's going well for us, that means it's going good for like VR in general. So that's like a good thing. Right?
Mhm.
I feel like it's just so much easier to get funded in VR than it would be if I was making like a flat game.
It's a little
Well,
easier to
there's a
stand out in
flooded
VR.
market over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you get something that looks
Saturated
really
market.
good, you're gonna stand out. Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
But
I
you
feel
also
like that
have,
just
like,
changed recently though, because I mean, it was for a while. It was really hard to get anyone to like throw any money at anything
Well,
VR. But I know it's just recently, the last few months,
publisher-wise, it
like
was
it's been.
hard.
It's
Mhm.
probably
Yeah.
that one on that one podcast you were on, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
back since then, that wasn't even that long ago. I mean, now it's like a lot more people are ready to
Yeah.
throw money at VR. I think.
I think it is like
the
these
wounds
guys are
kind
ready
of
to Twitter
healed the
game.
last over splurge of spenders in VR.
Well, like one of the publishers that like passed on my game, well, not passed, but passed on funding my game. They still wanted to publish it or whatever, but they were like, they are definitely investing in a bunch of VR, and they're like one of the biggest publishers or whatever. They're investing in a lot of VR. Just, they didn't understand
Nice.
my game,
For sure.
but like the,
Have they never
other-
watched anime of any sort?
Yeah, every other company that's ever looked at my game has looked at it and wanted to fund it. So I don't. I'm so confused why they passed.
They were like, "What do you do in the game exactly?"
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Like,
They
you hang
didn't
out.
get it.
Like, play
But then
minigames.
the guy told me, he was like, "I'm a big Call of Duty fan."
Ah, there you go. There you go.
And then he
It's
said
all
he hated
shooters and horror
Zelda,
games.
So I was like, well, my game is like totally.
It's like there's no race cars in it or guns.
There's no
like-
guns. There's no race cars.
you know, what else? What is in it then?
It's like a dating sim, bro. You can go talk
Are you
to
even
people
alive, man?
Oh, so it's a porn game then?
Yeah, it's basically could be a porn game. If I didn't get funding, then it would definitely be like a.
You can make like a special like DLC
Porn
version
game.
where like the dates just go another step further. Like
Yeah, dude, I would get dropped in funding so fast.
I know. I was almost thinking like, man, some of these like porno games are so simple. Like I could just like get some naked models, put like dancing animations to them, call it a strip club. I'm like, but I'd have to come up with like a fake VR dev name to
Right.
publish it under. You know, like I wouldn't have to have a porn name. I have to have a porn dev name. Like
Yeah, dude.
Hot coffee, APK.
Call it Aldridge Studios.
Let's not.
Spicy.
Yeah, oh,
old
man. There's actually a lot of complicated tech that goes into those porn games.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
There's
You know that.
there's a Discord I'm a part of or whatever. It's an Unreal Tech Art Discord, and they have like a whole channel dedicated to like making the perfect goo.
making like skin.
Oh, wow.
Like, goo.
Wow.
I was say like making like
Making the perfect
making like
fluid
you know
goo sim.
what is it?
And it's
Dynamic
amazing.
bones, like making jiggly stuff, but no, it's the goo.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole.
It's that's where the big money is. The chat and was like, yeah, dude, if you can actually achieve really good goo, you know, they will fund.
Wow.
Get so much money.
So it's like real porn.
Wow.
So,
This whole chat got weird really quick.
we push the boundaries here on
Very gooey.
What do we call our podcast?
no one to tell us what to do.
Oh.
This is now called the when rigid bodies meet soft bodies meet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah,
Can you
it's
not
it's
sit behind
awesome,
me and
though.
say
The best
that?
tech art stuff.
I'm sorry. I don't want to bump on your guy. I don't want to bump and grind on your guys' like.
Go stand by Johnny.
Johnny's like, I don't think so.
I'm not the one who knows about goo. What's this?
Goo, bro. Come on, that's where it's at. That's
I'm just the
money.
name guy.
Tech art. I didn't know what else to call it. I don't know. Just
Right.
goo. It looks like goo. It's fantastic. Yeah,
It
so that's
is
kind of,
kinda-
you guys are good at that. Let me know, and then
Right.
hook you up with the the guys.
I'm gonna browse in the
wild.
asset store. I could probably find a good asset that'll get the effect.
It's blood. It's blood. I swear. It's blood.
It's blood, right?
Oh, I know. You can use my blood effect to change the color on it.
Oh god,
Oh man.
that would be insane, dude. That would be absolutely insane.
It's coming out of her neck.
That's
but
really
okay.
all you would have to do. Like, I had problems with it being green because I put the color on it.
Oh man.
You have to change the color on two things: the mesh and like the stain projection afterwards. So two colors you have to
No
change.
problem. No problem. 2 clicks. 2 clicks of a button. But it's the gooiness of it, though. That's what's important. That's what they're looking for.
We're supposed to be coming up with new ways to make like better batteries to save the planet, and yet we're talking about
No. Pervs are out here. We're
Goo
making
physics.
goo.
The goo.
Goo physics. It's great. Moving the world forward. You could use it for other stuff, you know.
True.
Like your web slingers.
Yeah, like what? What the? Yeah, okay. I've heard it called
Spider-Man VR.
Like, no,
Yeah.
Mom, it's a Spider-Man game, I swear.
Yeah.
Keep testing it.
Yeah. Shout out to Ash's Tech Art Chamber on Discord. best Tech Art.
That's check art.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Mhm.
Nice. Might go on that. Yeah, that's what I'm needing is like a tech artist. I want to like pay someone to do my quest
That's
optimizations for me.
Most valuable role
Yeah, there you go.
in the
Uh-huh.
industry.
I'm not touching Unity with a 10-foot pole, man.
Uh-huh.
Come to the dark
Yeah,
side.
Unity sucks, bro.
Absolutely not.
How
Godot
dare
is
you.
better than Unity.
Oh.
Or is Unreal the dark side? Which one is the dark side?
I don't care.
They have
just like to
this
not fight my
fight
tools.
every week, Skido.
What's that?
They have this fight every week.
Do they? Unreal
We're
versus
relatively
Unity? Or...
civil
Yeah,
compared to
that's
most of the
funny.
internet.
Nice.
Oh man. Mhm.
Dude, I had a job where I had to actually like use Unity, and I just stopped doing it. I hated it.
The other
I
game you're
know.
working
Job
on,
went well.
the cat one, was it?
Yeah, it's
Little Kitty, Big City.
Yeah, Little Kitty Big Cities in Unity, and I was like, dude, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm just.
You say
I'll
big
give you-
cities?
I'll give you
Big
I'll-
cities.
I'll
Hilarious.
model buildings for you, and that's it. I'm out.
Right. Oh,
Let's
that's
touch-
funny.
Unity level
I've-
design ever again.
At my last job, it was like the
I'm-
reverse.
They were like, use
I
Unreal.
don't
and
want to
you're
fight my
like,
tools. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to I don't want to pay for 100 plugins to make it work. I'm good.
Hey, but I already
Nah,
paid for the 100 plugins, and on if I go on a Humble Bundle, I get like $1,000 of the plugins for like $20. So
Yeah, but that's our
There
hassle.
you
I don't want to deal with.
Humble bundle.
Good old Humble Bundle.
Gotta love the
Yeah,
humble
uh,
bundle.
yeah, I love
For
Humble
2
Bundle.
cents more, you can have 1,000 more plugins.
No.
Ooh.
How could I resist? How could I resist?
It's like, do I need a model
I'd
of an
buy 'em.
alligator person? Probably not, but maybe it'll come in handy one day.
You never know.
when you need an alligator.
Okay, all game developers have that unhealthy backlog of assets. That's nothing.
Oh, of course. Of course.
You just
It's
put
like
it in your
1.2
drunk
terabytes
driving.
on one of my drives. It's bad.
Right? Uh-huh.
And I got obsessed with downloading like public domain imagery from like the 1600s in Japan, like from the Metropolitan Museum, that website I showed you.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, oh,
You
these cool
tricked me,
demons, and-
man.
I tricked
I
you.
thought
How did
you
I
drew
trick
that.
you?
I thought you drew that picture of those.
Oh
yoga
no, I
things
just took
and
my
shit.
my Steam thing and I just kind of like stretched it and like kind of made it transparent, played it in with the colors. I did adjust
it
the
looked
contrast
good.
and levels on the image, but no, that was mostly from a museum image.
I know,
But it's public
I
domain,
thought
so
you
it's
drew it at
legally
first.
mine.
I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, how did
Oh
you
no,
do
yeah,
that?
I was like,
I
I
didn't
did
know
this
you were into
like
that.
today. That wouldn't be an afternoon of work. I'm not that talented an artist.
Man,
I
I
wish
feel
I
like
could draw that in an afternoon.
I feel like a little kid at the adult table. You're like, hey guys, hey guys,
So short.
Come up here. Get on the table for us.
Oh my.
we get on the
It's not
table.
that
I can
kind
get,
of-
I can get in the table.
You get in the
Oh
table.
yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Goodness.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Ski
chill
lights
out
for
the
He's
way.
going to start eating sushi off you in a minute.
Yeah, it's what's
Oh,
Eating
boy.
sushi. Oh god.
Oh man.
I was interviewing a dev for my game the other day, and he was very sad that I told him there was no making sushi. He really wanted to make sushi. He really wanted to make a sushi like mini game. I was like, sorry, bro. I'm doing.
There's already like at least like 2 like VR games like that. I know there's at least one. There's one that that couple made together.
Yeah.
And then I think there's another like crazy.
Yeah, dude, mine's the
one.
opposite of a restaurant simulator. It's like a reverse restaurant simulator.
Oh, those are stressful.
Oh, the food's eating you.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. I was
The Overcooked game, that game got too intense.
Yeah. It can be a bit much. Yeah.
Oh god.
So instead of cooking mama, you're actually cooking the mama?
You're eating mama's
Cannibalism.
cooking, dude. You're eating mama's cooking.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I miss going out
Gross.
to eat. All right.
Nice. I gotta start interviewing writer devs next week.
Wow.
Like, they're
Good
gonna
luck.
kind of multitask. I'm gonna have them write, and I'm also gonna have to do like the casting directing, so I don't have to listen to like a million like demo reels every time I cast a part out, and then also I'm gonna have them go through like the sound clips and like pick the good takes and like cut them out because that's like a pain in the butt.
So what if
And
they
I'm like,
pick
oh, would
bad
you be
voice
willing to?
actors?
You were in our dialogue framework, so I'm gonna have them like plug in like the dialogue. So they're gonna be like a writer, but doing some like dev stuff too. So I think it'll be.
That's
Well,
nice.
I
That's
got,
a
and I
good
got a
deal.
few applicants that worked on like a bunch of games. One of them does a bunch of the like those Harvest Moon type games, where you kind of hang out in town and like.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they might
cool.
make a good addition to the team, like kind of bring a different dynamic other than just killing people.
Right.
There's a lot of murder in your game, sir.
A little bit.
What if we talked to the people instead of killing the people?
Yeah, why don't you just use some diplomas?
Just reason with them. Of course.
Right.
I haven't gotten to try your game yet, Tab. But fuck, every time I scroll by one of your little videos, I'm like, God damn, that's beautiful. You did such a good job on the aesthetics.
Yeah,
real.
he's doing.
Yeah.
It looks,
It looks
pretty
great
good
in VR.
I have
Like
to
most
say.
like VR things, like the flat images don't really like do an image. Like when you hop in it, it's like.
Sure.
And I know
yeah.
because when I make it too, like especially when I make new areas, it'll be like a while before they're ready to like go in VR. So every time I go into somewhere new, like the first time in VR, I'm like, oh my god, like it's amazing. Like even though you look at it from the editor, like you put it together, like seeing it from VR is like completely different. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a different ball game.
absolutely.
That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your background. It's like one of those old like lanterns that they would spin around and it would animate stuff. Like that gives you that
Oh, yeah.
paper feel. It's so neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, those were made too. I did the same thing where I got like stuff from the Metropolitan Museum and then I kind of cut it out. Some of the mountains though, I had to fill in like by hand painting, but I kind of just looked at other ones and just kind of copied it. I use like Adobe Paint, or you can kind of fake like real paintbrushes, but like digitally. So anything to save time, get it cranked out, and it's also authentic because it's real artwork from like that era. So
That's pretty cool. Good idea. Good idea. So, Robert, you're quiet, buddy. What's
I
how's
don't know
your
why.
pants?
It's
Did you
weird.
finish making all your pants?
My pants are good. Pants are good. There's like 900 of them. It's a problem.
It goes from
proud of
0
you.
to 1,000 on everything in like a week. It's awesome.
Right.
40,000
Yeah, I have a
potions.
problem. I don't sleep. There's 44,000 potions. There's pants everywhere. I have 17 gloves though.
Your life's a
gloves.
mess. Your life's a mess. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the
It's just making pants and crying at 4 a.m. Normal shit. You know?
I feel the crying part. Definitely feel the
can't
crying.
wait till I quit my day job
Of
and do that full
course.
time.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
kind of a lopsided amount of pants versus gloves, though? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
Why
you
do
know.
you need so many pants, man?
You can find all of it in the world, and maybe I want them
But
to
what
have
about-
extra pants.
What about
Nice.
shirts?
Double.
Oh, there's like 1,000 shirts.
Okay,
Wow.
fine. All right. As long as there's shirt,
There's
to
like
pants
I think we have
parity,
I think we
that's
have
all
14 full armor sets, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So what's the gameplay loop of your game? Are you like talking to NPCs or killing people, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
searching
I mean, it's
things,
like
or-
you have this. It's a big city with like 130-ish buildings. All you can go inside. You can talk to people, get quests, and it'll like send you to a dungeon to do that quest. Like, my
nice.
amulet is fucking gone or whatever, and you'll go and there'll be like a goblin in there. You can kill it and find some stuff. Find a new piece of armor, take it back to town, repair it, sell it or keep it, whatever, make some money.
So it's D&D and VR, basically.
The closest comparison actually is something like Skyrim.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Is it single player, multiplayer?
Single player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not a big
Nice.
fan of multiplayer, unless I'm into making a shooter. In
You
VR.
know, I
Yeah,
wasn't either until VR, because like VR, everything you do in VR is like, holy shit, look at this. And it's just amazing to like share that with someone and have someone there with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess that's
like
true.
VR just really has brought that
Right.
whole thing. It's just made it a lot more fun for me.
Yeah, but there's also not exactly an add multiplayer button.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it. I get
So-
it.
Come
so
on,
you
just
know,
saying.
it's a little
Yeah,
tougher.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I heard
is
there
in
was a
Unity.
Unity.
Oh, the thing is, like, everything used to be
So
synced.
there's one in Unity. I got to switch, I guess.
You're doing multiplayer stuff, right, Tab?
Yeah, kind of. So, and to be fair, like, someone that works with Unity that I partnered with did the majority of the work for me. I just had to kind of fix the things that he broke after adding the multiplayer. But yeah, like my game, so I can kind of talk about some stuff's under NDA, but I can say some of this stuff. But basically, there's this new VR kind of console coming out called the Curve, and instead of it being, when you're the Quest, the whole like VR console and the HMD are all like in your head. So, and the battery's there, so it's heavy, it gets hot, and it's strapped to your face. So their idea was, what if, we had something similar where it's its own like VR console, its own processing thing, but it's not strapped to your face. So
Give me one.
I think they should do a backpack, but they're thinking like a little like holster side thing. They'll probably be like slings for both. But basically, you use your own thing. Like I'm using a Vive with index controllers, but they're saying it's going to work with pretty much all HMDs, including like
cool.
the AR ones. And
That's
it's
cool.
Android based too, so you can even plug it into like a TV.
I
and
haven't
just
heard
play
of this
regular
thing.
video games like 4K. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sounds
still they're
cool.
still collecting funding on it, and like building it. If you look it up online, like the Curve, you can find a few websites, or like their website. There's also a YouTube video which shows my game in it, because I'm actually got contracted to kind of adapt my game.
Nice.
And I kind of made a simple game where it's like one scene and you're just kind of killing people, and they're like, hey, what if we did this, and what if we did this? And one of the what ifs was, what if we made it multiplayer? And then I was like, I don't know. And they're like, well, we're recording this guy from Unity, he can help you out. So we teamed up, we made it multiplayer. And then from there, they're like, what if it's a 10-player location-based multiplayer?
Oh, wow.
So now it's like
Oh,
a big
geez.
thing. And up
Wow.
to 10 people will be in it. And like, the more people are in it, the more enemies spawn. So there's just kind of up to 30 like AI enemies fighting 10 like real people.
That's
Nice.
And
That
once
sounds
you
dope
there's,
as
like,
fuck.
right.
I don't know. I like the idea of maybe doing something multiplayer in the future, but right now, like the big thing we really want to focus on is like the immersion of being
Right.
in that world. The entire
Right.
goal is to get people to stay home from their job because they want to play my game instead. That,
Ruin
and-
people's
and-
lives.
no,
That's
and just
what it is?
exactly, I want to ruin lives. That is my goal.
There's gonna be someone out there. I'm gonna have like a neck
Goals.
beard, like being like, I need all the rest of the pants. I'm missing like 5 more
Exactly,
pants.
that's what I want.
It's like collecting Korok seeds. You gotta give them a gift at the end, bro.
That's
Give 'em
why I'm
Exactly
glad you said
right.
it will hopefully come out in December, because I normally take half December off, so I'd have that.
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly,
Make at
there's not a lot of
least 8,000
replayability in
posters.
games right now, like on VR.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's a problem, and
Yeah.
I want infinite replayability, and that's where the 900 pants come in.
Nice.
Well, what happens
Pants
after you
always
get all
solve that
900
problem.
pants?
Can you wear
You
them
find all
all?
1,000 shirts
Oh.
Oh, okay.
and the
Nice.
several thousand pieces of individual pieces of armor,
Right.
Jesus, dude.
It's crazy.
and
So
they
this is why the
like
Quest
wear
needs
them
like an
all.
achievement system too, like Steam has. and,
Yeah.
like, Windows.
I thought it does.
the Quest does
I
have an
thought you
achievement
could-
system.
It does.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
shows
does.
you how much I play
Does
like
it?
native Quest games.
My boy wrote
It
an app
is,
for
it does. It's
Unreal
just
that like,
kinda
lets you use it
half-assed.
really easy.
When you open it, it's just like, do you want to open virtual desktop again? It's like, you know me, Quest. You know me.
You know.
Yeah, there's totally like achievements and all sorts of stuff that you can.
I just can't stand being
set up.
tethered to my PC. That's
Yeah.
I spend
agreed.
enough hours of the day on it. If I'm playing a VR game on my headset, it's going to be
Right.
standalone.
Nah, I love
Yo,
my
back
PC. I
to-
said it
yo,
all day long.
Tab.
I'm still working my day job, and like I'm working my day job from home, so I have my work laptop opened up, and like my secondary vertical monitor like hooked into my work PC, and then my big widescreen monitors has my home one, so I can watch like Star Trek while I'm like doing my day job.
Nice.
It's
I would get
nice.
nothing done if I was able to
Living
work
the
from home like
dream.
that with like a normal day job. Luckily, VR development is my day job.
Most of my day job, I could train like if a monkey could read, I could probably train a monkey to do like 90% of my job. Like,
it is amazing to me
Are you
that like
hiring?
That was creepy. He's like, hey, hit me
He's
up,
so
let's-
still.
Can I get up here?
it is amazing to me that you guys are still working like a regular day job and you guys are like so far along with like with the game in general.
Yeah, basically, I have no life.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I
You
know
must have just
you
like
mean.
much higher expectations for salary than I do. I took
that's
like
what makes it hard
one.
is like I'm kind of getting paid well at my job because I've been there like over a decade and I'm kind of like in a semi-leadership position. So that's what made it hard for me to get funding too. Is it's like, oh, I got a mortgage and I'm in a household of 4, and I got
I
bills
took,
to
like-
pay. So,
When I
Yeah.
started developing full time, I took like over a half pay cut, like over half. It was pretty bad.
For sure.
but you
Worth
don't live
it.
in California, dude. It's expensive here. Like,
That's true.
I'm
Dude, I would
considering
never
going to
live in
California.
Bro.
Mm.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
move.
we
was
were saying
working
you'd be down
from
for
home.
California, or you wouldn't be down for
Village.
California.
I'm considering it. I
Oh.
want to be somewhere that has actual developers other than there's no one in fucking Virginia.
that has actually stuff going on.
Bro, I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems-
The only place
You
worse
love
than
it, man. I mean,
Virginia.
other than being expensive,
Georgia.
it's great. I love California.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, me
California's
too.
Very expensive.
amazing. It's so beautiful. Can't wait to
There's
start
so much
to do
there
here.
a little more. hmm
Any musician you want to see on tour is like almost guaranteed to stop here. It's nice.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to
That's
California.
true.
I'm
Yeah.
like
I-
5
I'd
hour
like to
drive
visit
away.
if nothing
so-
else, but moving might be difficult. But visiting would be nice.
Nice.
Well, maybe next GDC, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
Talking
working
about
from home
cons, I'm
today
going
for my
to,
day job, and I'm like, how do I get funding for a podcast so I can work from home and do fun shit? Like,
All right.
Yeah, I get sponsored by like fucking Audible or some shit.
Right.
You just got to get better guests than us. That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
True.
Yeah.
Your
There's
bar's
no
low.
such thing.
Your bar's
Come on.
pretty low. Aw.
Honestly, I'd be surprised even if just getting like Audible like money would be enough to like support. I feel like I imagine authors have like a bigger struggle than us because not as many
Yeah,
people read
right.
books as play video
Yeah.
games. Even VR
True.
games, I feel like is unless you got like a really Game of Thrones or something like that. Like I feel like it would be hard to sell books.
True.
mhm.
Mhm.
Talk about
I think salary expectations are just so different than like what's I don't know. You guys talk about some pretty crazy numbers, but like every time I've told anyone like how much it costs to develop like Medieval Designer, they're like, "Wow, that's super cheap." And Heartlands is not much more than that. Like Medieval Designer costs like $80,000 to develop. So
That's pretty
That's
cheap.
nuts. So, but you're counting like
yeah, see.
like supporting yourself, like basically just not working during that whole time, right? Like that's not like what you spent on assets and stuff, or how that. Where does
Yeah,
that number-
that's like the cost of,
Yeah,
of
where-
me working. Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, because
yeah, and assets and everything.
I'm at it like a little. I mean, not counting like paying my own bills. That's coming from my day job, but just like spending on assets, I'm at like a little over like 2,000 out of my own
Right.
pocket.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if you wanted to like do it based on assets, then yeah, I was like probably around the same. But if you did like,
But yeah, to be fair, if you were
time-
counting hours wise, like I basically get off work and I work until about an hour before I go to bed, and then I actually still work because me and my wife will watch we'll watch shows together, and depending on the show, if it's a show it's a little bit slower paced, like we like to watch Naked and Afraid, like I'll be like doing level design or like converting materials, just like brainless stuff while we're starting. So I
Yeah,
really just kind of
right.
work from wake up to go to bed. Maybe if I'm
Jesus,
lucky, I'll
I
get
couldn't
maybe
do
like
that.
30
I'd have
minutes to an
take a
hour of
break,
like
bro.
video game playing, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but even for like
Same.
Heartlands though, like we got not much more than that. Like for actual like funding from a single investor, and that's like it's not a lot. Starting to feel the pain from that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trying to stretch it.
Yeah,
all you gotta do is follow Tab on Twitter, copy exactly what he does. Just put your game in it.
Actually, every
a good
time
idea.
Tab tweets, like add like your own screenshots
subtweet?
underneath his team. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Right.
Just piggyback on it.
Hey, do I got some like approvals to do that?
Under that.
Yeah, go for it. That'll boost my post too, technically. I think.
That looks
Hey,
awesome,
fuck it.
Tab.
True.
Now look at this.
That's awesome. Check this shit out too.
Like, look, I got swords too. Like,
Yeah.
I got 8,000 swords.
I bet you don't have
87.
900 pants.
oh no, can't even change the character's pants on mine.
I can
Me,
just
it's
do
black
one
and white, so
pair
you
for
don't have
900
pants.
days.
I'm out. Forget it.
What kind of
I'm out.
samurai game is this?
Gotta have pants.
Yeah.
If it's anything less than 500 pairs of pants, I am out.
Right.
That's the limit, bro. Minimum, bare minimum.
Minimum.
I mean, but that's the shame.
Man, I'm gonna have to add pants to my game now. Fuck.
Well, I mean, if we've heard enough about your kind of game, that they're probably just going to come off anyway. So you know.
Oh my.
Sushi Ben, Triple X.
And that's
You
where they
need a
do-
Heartland vending
sorry.
machine on the street, and it just has
Yeah.
pants in it in your
Just
game.
a-
So you spend like 3 weeks on like the cloth physics for when the pants come off. Like,
Crossover. Oh god.
Oh, I love it.
A special.
No, man. I love hiding Easter eggs. I might do something like that for you guys.
I kind of
That'd be
dig that. I would put your guys' ads in my game. I think that would be dope.
I'll put Easter eggs for your guys'
Yeah.
game.
Use
In my
Johnny's
game. Like, my
game
game is
to
going to be like
advertise.
mostly Easter eggs.
Mhm.
I mean, now that I have a writer, I won't have to depend as much. I was going to be like, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm not that creative, so everything's just going to be Easter eggs and like parodies. And people are going to think it's, you know, it's because I'm like edgy, but it's just because I can't think of my own stuff.
Oh, god. I mean, yeah, dude. All I'm doing is like halfway parodying animes. Like every storyline is like a parody off of like either a drama or like an anime or something. So,
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Um,
you can make
I loved
a
your
sweet-
booth. Oh, go ahead. My
What?
bad.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I loved your booth, Robert. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
No,
great.
we were-
I got some pretty cool feedback from it. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
I
it's pretty
haven't
good.
seen it. I have to
You
put
should
on
go over there
it.
and take a look.
All right, I'll be right back. Don't talk shit about me or I'll be pissed.
Is it gone
If
yet?
you're gonna
There
talk
it goes.
shit, get out of the audio.
Is it
Triple
gone?
X, what's that about?
You're like, so
That
let's all
guy's
steal
so,
his panel
he's such
idea.
a square.
Right. I love it. Oh man.
I think the booth came out pretty
you guys
well.
more
Like,
often. This is pretty funny shit in here.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Times.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Mhm.
I look forward to this every month now.
Yeah,
Being able to
definitely.
talk to other developers.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
been great.
don't quite feel like I belong in the industry. You know, I'm very small compared to all you guys.
What are you talking about, man?
No.
Like, you're the only one that's like
Right.
published the game, I think, out of all of us.
Right.
Well, I mean, you got like
right?
professional like
Yeah,
experience,
but that doesn't really mean anything.
I
I mean,
haven't
like
published shit.
I did the math on how many I've sold and how, like, based on the rate of sale, how long it'll take me to make the money back. It's 166 years. See,
Well, good business- good
see, the
business
game
model.
is doing fine.
But you're saying you will make a return eventually.
Hey, if you can
Eventually,
get your like,
in
head, like,
166 years.
in a jar and like keep going after that.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I hope, Robert, is like if nothing else but the menu system from Medieval Design, which was kind of your focus, makes it into Heartlands and Heartland hits it, like it was worth it. From my
think
point
so.
of view, I can't speak for you, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll see. I mean, I hope Heartlands does good. I mean, there's nothing really like it. You know.
Think about it. Like they made Doom out of what was it, Wolfenstein, and it blew Wolfenstein out the
true.
water. Like
Yeah.
people don't
That's
call
true.
like games made like that Wolfenstein clones, even though Wolfenstein came first. They call them Doom
Mhm.
clones. Like
Yeah.
Man, do you
Sure.
remember how many freaking discs it took to install that game? Dude, like back in the floppy disk days,
No.
it was like one, and then all
Not
of a
at all.
sudden it's like disc 8 and like
I'm
it's all
26.
corrupted.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
all
worse.
right, I'm old. I just
by the
totally
time you get
like.
to that disc, you're
I feel
Yeah.
fucking
done.
ancient already being on Twitter with all these
Yeah.
fucking 20-year-olds, but yeah, no.
I
don't know.
You know what's funny was I was watching a video and they were talking about making Steam pages and they were showing this guy and they were like, you know what? Like people don't like, pixel art. Like they don't. They're not old like us. They don't have nostalgia for it. So you got to use like these
Right.
stretch and squish animations. I'm like, what? People don't have nostalgia for pixel art? Like when you're so old that
Right.
people don't have nostalgia for the things that like people
You're
that things that
right.
people are nostalgic about are like
Am I the
your
youngest person
stuff
here?
is too old for that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of blew my mind. Like,
How old are
Like
you?
what? I'm 26. Am I the youngest person here?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
31. Mm-hmm.
I would not have guessed that from you,
I'm
Johnny.
43, so boom.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm
old
43 too, man. So, hey.
Oh yeah, buddy. Old fuckers unite. What's up?
I guess I'm not doing too bad then.
Yeah, you're
33.
doing all right. Yeah, you're the prodigy of our team. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know.
I
The square is
explained
back.
Wonder Boy.
I
There's
a square.
explained-
A square.
I'm stuck in the floor and I can't get out.
You are. That's okay.
Oh.
So,
How old are you, Demo?
honestly, I've forgotten.
Okay, so fucking old.
One
I'm
he's like
not-
hundreds of
not
years
human
old.
years.
Hundreds.
I'm 30 plus. I know that. I just don't
Okay,
know how to-
goddamn. Yeah, I am the youngest person here.
Yeah,
I
you're
heard
the
anyone
youngest.
say that.
I'm like
36 is
30 plus. It's either like 33 or 32 or 31. I don't quite remember.
So,
Don't
so,
worry.
so you're like
Oh.
another Unreal Engine master. What do you think of my booth?
I mean, it looked like a booth.
That's pretty good. All right, let's go from there.
My performance.
What do you think
my
about his
performance
screenshots?
dropped
Oh,
heavily, though.
man.
Oh, how populated it
I
was.
dropped. I was dropping frames.
Yeah,
in Quest One.
I think that's a Spatial 8 problem.
Yeah.
Or a
He's like
Quest 1
Spatial Apes
problem.
and Unity. That's a Unity problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Dude, all right, listen. I was watching your video. Why don't you post that shit on Twitter?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
Why don't you post it
Actually,
on
no.
Twitter?
Aren't you
I
young
did
little
post it
shits
on
supposed
Twitter
to be good at
once.
Twitter?
I
How many
posted it on Twitter
hashtags
once.
do you use?
That's what you see. I post. Well, I've been like kind of slowing down as I've been busy, but normally twice a day. Shoot, like
You need to
So you
cut that video up into like
right.
bite-sized
Pieces.
chunks,
Yup.
like 15-second chunks, right?
Yup.
And then post that shit. Throw some like two or three hashtags, no more.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
you do-
dude.
I think
Gotta
you probably
generate
look
some
great.
hype, man.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag
You're just-
Heartlands,
you're just
hashtag
really bad at-
spicy.
post to Reddit like once
Maybe
every week or
not. Maybe
two.
not hashtag spicy.
Spicy. Yeah.
No, you got to use hashtags that make sense. If you make
Yeah.
random hashtags, you'll get
Yeah.
lost in the algorithm.
VR and Oculus, something like that.
You got that?
Oculus Quest.
No. Just hashtag VR, hashtag UE4, and hashtag indie game. That will get you a bunch of bots that retweet the account that a lot of people follow.
Yeah, I've seen those bots
Unreal
actually.
account has like 7,000 followers.
Supposedly
and a bunch of,
hashtag like RPG and is like a good one if you fall into
Oh.
that. I've heard.
Oh yeah, you could use that one, but don't use more than like 4, or people are gonna like hate
You
it.
do the screenshot
And-
Saturday thing too. I kind of like gave up on that
Yeah.
because it's hit and miss with that.
Dude,
Yeah.
Screenshot Saturday is my most successful ones, bro.
Really,
Huh.
I gotta do some more screenshot Saturdays. I work so much during the week on the game. I ended up posting things that by Saturday I have nothing left interesting to post. And then
Yeah, see, like, this is why like I feel like I am failing because like I'm doing this full time, but like it seems like it seems like you guys are doing better still, even with the day
Well,
job.
listen, dude. You know you can make the absolute best thing in the world, but if no one knows about it, no one's gonna play it. So you really got to
That's
get
true.
it out there.
That's
You
true.
gotta
Yeah,
do
yeah, I
it,
post a
bro.
lot.
If
And
you send me
what I
videos,
saw
I'll
looked
chop them up
great,
for you
so
and
I
get
don't-
them back to you. I
Alright.
like
You do
doing
that?
that stuff.
Get them on TikTok too.
Age of
Supposedly that's good.
experience.
Like,
Yeah,
speaking.
TikTok's actually really good for engagement stuff.
I gotta
I've been-
I didn't
figure
figure
out.
out
I've been
TikTok
surprised.
till,
Like
like,
my
a
last
week
few
ago.
videos got like over like 200 views, and I didn't even notice because I posted them and didn't even check. But
Oh, nice.
I gotta start like checking that and posting more often.
Do they have like hashtags on TikTok or something? I don't know. That.
Yeah, they got hashtags on there too.
See, this is why I
Um,
feel old though. I don't understand what the fuck TikTok really.
I don't
It's
either,
just
but
a
I kind of
video
started getting it.
platform,
It's
bro.
basically like Twitter, but you only post videos. I think
It's
there's some kind of
Chinese
time limit on the
spyware
video,
Twitter.
but it must be a high time limit because I posted up to 2-minute videos and it took it. So I don't
It's
know what
2
the time
minutes
limit is.
from PC. It's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
just
and then-
Chinese spyware Twitter, dude.
Wait, you can
Yeah,
post
yeah,
it from your
Chinese
computer
spyware,
too?
it
I
is.
thought it was like only mobile.
No,
Okay.
no, you can
No.
post
No,
it
you can post from your
computer.
PC. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I do
didn't
everything
know
on my
that.
PC,
Okay, cool.
and yeah, it's like Twitter, but I think with just videos, and then I guess the videos that are kind of short and like catchy and silly like do like better.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Did we lose Demo? Or is he under the table?
He was.
I thought I was sitting on
Uh-uh.
Yeah, this
You go.
app has been hard on Quest 1s apparently.
it's kicking.
I
my
finally got it running
if-
on my Quest 2 today. I found out I forgot to enable developer mode. I figured because developer mode showed up in like the menu options that it was enabled, but you had to go on the mobile.
You know,
app
if they
and-
didn't use Unity, they wouldn't have these problems. Just saying.
If they didn't use Unity, it wouldn't be published, but there would be out. Yeah,
that's fair.
I think I will say I think that's the most impressive thing about both of you guys because I know like a lot of Unreal Unreal indie devs, and like most of them don't finish anything. So both.
Yeah,
of you,
I mean,
like,
that's-
It's hard. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna,
that's-
I try to use Unreal a little bit, and then every time I Googled something, it was like a screenshot of someone's like visual code, and I was like, I can't even see what that says. Like, how is this the
Right.
answer to my question?
Right.
I gotta
What do you mean?
gave
that's
up on
easy,
Unreal.
bro? You just
I don't
go
know,
on the
man.
node.
Blueprints is amazing. I love it.
I get so confused when it comes to visual. I mean,
Right.
I don't know,
me
like
too.
I have a background in C#. Like before, like my day job before
Ah,
doing game design was I
Yeah.
wrote automation software.
that makes
in
sense.
C#.
There
That
you go.
makes sense.
Yeah, so like you think I would love Unity because of that, but I fucking hate it.
Unity's ugly.
yeah, and I love C#
Ugliest
because
UI.
Exactly. Also, the
Ugly
interface for
UI.
Unity looks like it came out in 1997. I hate
It's
it.
awful. It's trash.
but once you buy $100 worth of plugins and make it look
Yeah,
nice,
it's so
called
much
a sunk
prettier.
cost
you gotta customize it.
You're just
I will
sunk
blow my
money
brains
into
out
it.
before I do that. No,
it's
thank
good. Yeah,
you.
drop that coin.
Drop that coin.
Right now, you can pay $30. You get everything. You get Odin. That's like the nice one. I haven't tried it out yet, but everyone loves Odin. Like,
Mhm, I've heard of it.
kind of like the time to learn a new tool. Like,
Right.
every time I add an
Just
editor tool, it
install
always
Unreal
slows down
and
my
get
editor
everything
so
you
much.
need.
I end up like,
Yeah. I get
You're in the
Whatever.
floor again. Yeah.
You're in the,
My head's
yeah, I
gone.
was in the floor earlier too. That's why they're
Quit sniffing your own chair, weirdo.
Yeah, it's
it looks like
Hey, that's kind of. I mean, when you play Sushi Ben VR and you go under people that are wearing skirts, you know.
Oh my.
Okay, now who's the spicy one?
Dude, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put no, dude. I'm gonna put someone's like I'm gonna put
Chris
someone's
and
head
up all up
underneath-
close on the
underneath
NPCs
people's
if they
skirts.
want.
Look up.
When you, in your anime panel game, like, do you walk around and just hear like camera noises all the time, like on the bus?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I don't know. There's a famous movie from Japan called Love. Well, maybe not that famous, but it's called Love Exposure. And like one of the arcs in that story is where this kid learns to be like to take panty shots with the camera, and he's like he
Oh,
learns like this
wow.
kung fu skill. I'm gonna parody that,
Fucking
but without
what?
without the panty shot.
like a pickpocket.
But it's this awesome. It's just like this awesome like training montage of him like doing like kung fu and like jumping around, like taking shots with his. He's got like multiple cameras on strings.
I need
and,
to watch
flings
that.
them. It's just so fucking. It's so
like
Japanese
yo-yos or
things on the
something.
planet. Yeah, dude. They got some
Yo-yos.
taped onto like cars, like little like remote control cars that have like cameras on them. They drive under people's legs and stuff. It's just.
It's pretty creative.
It's an artistic masterpiece of a film.
Love Exposure, you said?
Love Exposure.
Love
Check it out.
exploitation
It's like,
films.
It's like 4 hours long. It's amazing.
Oh,
And,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's about a kid who can't get turned on, and so
Okay,
and so
then.
he's like
Very
going on a
Japanese.
journey of self-exploration.
I think Johnny lost connection.
Johnny, look at his head, bro. He's bowling.
Exorcist shit.
He couldn't take the penny
he's
shot.
still there for me. He's just like, looking up at the sky. There he is. You okay, man?
Yeah.
Lost you for a second. Your head went rolling off. It rolled all over the table. And like,
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Some red wedding shit.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the chair sniffer.
Hey, buddy, you're back.
There's like a face sticking out of the chair.
Want some?
Ugh.
Nutty.
Some?
Damn. So did you guys see that? Did you guys watch Sadly's Bradley's
Oh,
leak video today or live stream?
I haven't seen the one on the
Steam one?
Valve Deckard. I watched the one on the Oculus Quest Plus and Pro.
No,
I don't watch
it's
either,
fun.
but people have been tweeting about it a lot. So
Yeah.
kinda got the
Yeah.
joke.
Well, when you were telling
mean-
about the curve thing you were talking about, Valve,
Yeah.
like they're actually doing that with the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
like they're releasing,
run
essentially
thing.
what they're going to be doing is releasing multiple tier headsets. So like you buy the base headset and then you can buy all these different straps to like increase the power of the headset or add different
that's
features. Right.
That's perfect.
And then you could there's a version where you could like plug your Steam Deck into the to get like more power out of the mobile VR thing.
Yeah, all
That's
that
pretty
sounds
good.
great, but I'm
Yeah.
much more excited about the possibility of actual room mapping with the next version of the Quest. It turns
Sure,
it into
yeah,
an AR
that's good
device.
too.
That's much
Yeah.
more impressive to me.
I was thinking, like Microsoft, they showed like when they were doing, what was it, like the HoloLens, or no, they were doing some
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
a
thing where, like,
HoloLens.
Mhm.
like there was like the couch, and like when Conker jumped on the couch, he like bounced
Yeah.
to jump because it was a
Ah.
couch, and I was like, that's so cool. And I always thought,
Mhm.
I saw that years ago, so I thought by now we were gonna have AR games like that. But the AR games is like, oh, there's a floating head coming at you, like shoot at it.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Right.
I don't know. I still
Dr.
think there's a
Gordon
lot
is
you could do
probably
with
the
like the
best we
Magic
have.
Leap.
The last thing I care
It's
about.
really powerful compared to the HoloLens.
Yeah.
I think so
Mhm.
too.
Ugh.
I think what would be cool.
I
I
miss
saw
Magic
this
Leap.
one beer company came out with like a label where if you pointed your phone at it, like in the AR, like the label would come alive and like
It's a
I
wine.
think it was like
Yeah.
an Irish chip or something. He's like,
Mhm.
and, like,
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is actually on the newest wine label where he comes to
Really?
life. And,
I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah. This
Mhm.
it's a wine called 19 Crimes,
Mhm.
and it's really like the faces that come to life, and they look really really good, and they tell a
Right.
story.
I mean, I don't know. I think phone AR is like really annoying because it does.
Sure.
I
But
hate
it's
it
a
on
stepping
its
stone.
But
Yeah.
if you believe Scoble, Apple's gonna win AR next year, so we'll see.
Right.
Well, it's all about
I-
getting that development and
Mhm.
having something made already for when glasses
Right.
and
you know, it's good
things
though
that
if you
are
played
more
mobile
accessible.
Angry Birds AR on the phone. That's really good. That might
I
change
didn't
your
know
mind
that
on
was a thing.
mobile AR.
yeah, the
Angry
Magic
Birds.
Leap, Angry Birds was pretty awesome. Magic Leap too.
It's
Oh,
if you
yeah, I
play the
didn't know it
VR
was a thing.
version, it's basically the same as the AR version. It's just kind of like instead we're in the
Oh,
headset,
okay.
you get on your phone. But
Nice.
I just want to know what Niantic is working on because I'm almost certain it's just Pokemon Go on glasses. You could just see
Of
like
course.
a Pikachu coming out of the floor. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But it's
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
it'll be cool if they get like the ambient occlusion with like furniture and stuff, so the
Yeah.
Pikachu like pops out from behind your
Yeah.
chair or something. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was
you
like,
guys,
pretty excited about.
you remember that game Hey You Pikachu? They should just do like a Hey
Yeah.
You Pikachu port with the headset.
Oh yeah, no,
That'd
it was
be-
like
I don't know.
it was like a Tamagotchi, but it was in color, and the
Right.
buttons lined up like with the thing, and like it was you shook it, and like that like gave you like watts. And I remember the trailer was like there was kids sitting on like a dryer machine that was shaking them, and that was getting them the watts. And if you could do mystery gift with your Game Boy Color on it, and like the more like watts you had, it was like the better it was gotten. Like I shook it for so long to get the max watts you can get was like 999, and I was like, what is it gonna give me? It's gonna be something awesome. And it gave me a rare candy, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
that was a lot of shaking for a rare candy. I don't even use the rare candies. I like to level up my Pokemon normally.
Right.
You just walk around like this for no reason.
Yeah. That handshake.
It came in handy later though, when I was a teenager.
Just use the glue tech. Just need the glue tech applied to that. And
Yeah.
Gotta plug my headset in because the power is low.
Is that how I looked? Oh yeah, that's kind of intense. That's kind of.
no, it was worse.
No,
Oh,
you're
wait, it
oh,
was
way
God.
worse, bro.
Oh,
Way
God.
yeah, you were
worse.
like
Oh, no.
the Exorcist and spinning
Yeah.
around like Sonic.
Oh
and
no!
Yeah.
Oh god!
shit.
You rolled down the table. It was really creepy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you
God.
stopped, and your face was looking up, like off the table. From here, it looked like you're looking up
Yeah.
out of a bowl of soup. Conan and shit.
It was very fitting for the beginning of Halloween season. So yeah.
That's
There
true.
we
It's
go.
spooky month.
Kick it
Time to
off.
get-
Yeah.
Time to get spooked.
Spooked. Mhm. Oh man.
Yo, Robert. Robert. Hello.
Uh-oh.
He looks
What's
drunk.
going on with Robert too? Oh, is he?
What is
back
happening?
Alive?
Up, everybody's possessed. Up, there we go.
Oh, that's the weird
Look-
head shit.
That's
He's-
creepy.
Yeah, that's kind of like.
Looking behind him.
Whoa.
Giraffe.
Oh.
Did I do? Why am I so
You're in the
small?
floor
I don't
again.
know.
You're in
That's what happens
cool.
if you
I
leave
feel
and
like
come
Stuart
back.
Little
You
or
end up in the
something.
floor.
the-
I probably have to go
I
off the
love
platform and come back on it. No,
No, dude,
Oh,
that's
oh, there
hey,
you
what's
go. Oh,
going
no.
on down there?
Oh,
Now
there
we're
you go. I tried to
sharing
reset
the-
it.
there you go.
Oh, all right, there
You
we
just
go.
have to stand all night.
Oh man.
Oh, why don't we hit that question we talked about in the messengers? Like, what was everyone's first game? Like,
Oh, first game we made, or
yeah, like in any kind of engine, even if it's like a engine people will laugh at you for using, like the one I'm going to talk about.
I forgot what I was going to say for that. That feels like a lifetime ago we had that conversation. Holy shit!
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll go first. I've never made a game in any engine, so I'm sorry.
We used
You know, well, we believe in you,
Never-
so you can do it.
We believe
used
Yeah.
the ripped Japanese RPG maker on the Dreamcast back in the day. We
That's
were making
true.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I made
that
games in
counts.
RPG Maker. I got pretty good at it,
Mhm.
actually. Like
This was like
You know, it's
in
crazy,
Japanese
there's a lot of the,
on the
uh,
Dreamcast.
stuff I learned from using RPG Maker, like, kind of comes in handy now because it being like a limited engine and me like not having access to anything else. I ended up getting really creative with it. I actually made like a Pokemon type clone where you can like capture like enemy monsters and keep them in
That's
like a
cool.
computer and you can switch them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I made a sequel to it too. Like that one had like even better computer where you can actually see the monsters. The original one had little like codes you had to enter to get them out. And
Mhm.
then I've also made like a Zelda type clone on it using just the overworld instead of like its regular battle system. But
Huh.
yeah, I mean, like just learning, like playing around with that using, I think they call them like if then statements or something, or if else
Right.
statement.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're just learning from that, like ended up coming in real handy later because it's just actual
Right.
programming with the code just kind of rolled naturally.
That's
dude, I
awesome.
opened that up when I was like 12 or something, and then just closed it. I was like, I'm out.
Me too.
It's like, no.
Dude, by the
No.
time I got my hand on that, I was like, this is so much better because I had like, I wanted to make games as a kid, but I couldn't find anything. Some of them were too complicated, and other ones were crap. There's one I remember that I used it ran in Windows, but it compiled the games to play in DOS, and like I had hand drawn assets. It was like the crappiest version of RPG Maker. And this was the first game I ever made, and like
Right.
at the time, ET scared the crap out of me. Like I just thought he was terrifying. So that was the villain in the game was like ET would pop up and attack you,
Oh, I
and you had
love
to
it.
fly in a rocket to different planets like gems, and fight ET.
Damn, dude.
That was my first game.
For sure.
Oh, Skiva just exorcised
Oh.
out.
Oh,
I remember
I did?
those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, your
Yeah,
head's
dude,
backwards.
you're like- your head
Did you
is
just take
like-
your headset off?
No, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, there
you're
we
back.
go.
It's
Oh,
fine.
there he
Let's do it
goes.
again.
What?
The battery might be
What's
low.
happening? What's happening?
The battery
I
might
can
be low.
see everything normal. No, I got a lot of battery. Let's see what do I got.
And this
Huh?
has happened to
I'm
everyone.
at
so far,
92%.
Damn.
I think it's just when you're in Spatial Ape for a long time, it's like a memory
Ah.
leak, and then
That makes sense.
because remember Johnny last week when we were or was it- yeah
Unity.
last week
Yeah.
was it yeah we were in last week like everyone was
Mhm.
crashing. We had,
Whoa.
like 47
Right.
people or whatever, and
Oh yeah, is it like the
Right.
max?
Right.
yeah we were at the
Mhm.
max, but it was also after people had been in there for like
Right.
a good bit of time, and everyone
Yeah.
was like crashing and.
I don't even know if you guys if they can buy Spatial Apes t-shirts anywhere because I know they like give them out. I kind of wanted to buy one. Like,
Me too. I'd buy one.
But-
it'd be
Yeah, I'm
cool
not
and
sure.
to like support them.
Well, those are like
Mhm.
physical.
You gotta tell them they gotta
t-shirts?
make like a thread list or something. Like I buy a
Mhm.
Spatial Ape shirt and a Spatial Ape.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, I'd buy a
coffee mug or
Spatial Ape
something.
shirt.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd rock
definitely
it.
buy one.
I'll let him know.
We lose
Yeah,
Skiva.
Oh,
He might have
maybe.
restarted.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Unless he's behind the screen. Oh, I can't put my head through it. I thought I could.
Hiding in the
Light
plants.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is he? He's over here. No, that's Wookie. Like, look, I'm Dot.
Oh, there he
there
is.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he totally booted me.
Mm-hmm.
Booted me. What's up with that?
Oh yeah, so me and Johnny are talking about because we're both in the California area. LA Comic Con's coming up on December 3rd, I think it is. So I'm gonna submit for us to have like a panel at Comic Con where we can go and talk about VR. So if you guys know any like developers or organizations that do want us to give out like posters or stickers or anything, let them know they could ship it over to us because I plan on
nice.
giving out like posters for my game with
that's
links
cool.
to like websites or
When is
whatever to
that?
kind of advertise. When is it? It
Yeah,
is
when is it?
December 3rd, and it is at the Los Angeles Convention. I believe it's December 3rd. You can double check.
Okay.
Los Angeles Comic Con. It shouldn't be hard to find.
For
But I want
sure.
you
You got
guys.
some like stickers, some shit
December.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Or some
Figures
pins.
and then And then
can
you
wear
can even just, when you have a
pants.
manufacturer, send them right, to me initially to
Could
save
ship
on
you pants,
shipping.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude,
I
Robert,
need
you
a-
need to make
And
You
make
need a
pants
sticker,
as a-
Robert. No, like 900 pants or something. Something stupid.
900
Like
pants.
pants sticker. Yeah.
Hashtag spicy, and it's just a pile of pants.
All
our
right.
pants are above like 900.
Dude, if your game like pops off one day, you need to make pants merch. You need to sell like
Oh,
Pants
definitely.
merch. Yeah, right.
I actually have like an insane like plan for everything. I already have like a plan for a clothing line at some
Oh,
point in
I
the
like
future.
it. Man.
Yeah.
Like pantaloons and puffy shirts and shit.
Pantaloons.
Not quite, but you know.
I want pants that are like the game pants. All right.
Yeah, like Robin Hood. pants.
Yeah, I have a
Better
particular
come with, like,
style that I
+4
want that
stat.
doesn't exist yet. So,
Yeah.
I gotta get my thread list up and going with some designs, sell some shirts and stuff.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Yeah, you know what's funny is like before I did this, like that was like what my business kind of was going to Comic-Con and selling like shirts and like prints and like
Oh,
I got
wow.
everything all ready, and then COVID happened and I was like, well, so much for
Ah,
going to
for
conventions
sure.
and selling stuff.
So
And,
what would be
like,
the easiest way for me to like ship you guys like stickers with like logos or something?
Yeah, me too.
I can try to look into it for you because I had websites before, so you can either
Or like I could just like give you guys a design and pay for it, and you guys could just like get them there.
Mhm.
yeah, we could do that. I'm also looking at like buying a new printer because I used to actually print the stickers my own, and
Okay.
I might be able to just buy a new printer. Maybe we can all just split the supplies and I'll print them and cut them.
Yeah.
Or something.
Sure.
Have someone
I'd love to.
volunteer and cut them.
I should-
Yeah, we can.
You know, one thing
Yeah,
I
sure.
wanted to do was like 3D print like a house from the game, and like
That'd
give
be
those
cool.
out at things. That'd be cool shit.
Yeah, I know a guy
awesome.
that actually is
Wow, that would
offering
be cool.
to do that, like for game developers. I mean, not for free; it's his business. He's charging,
Yeah.
obviously, but you know, he does do that, and like his prices sound reasonable. So I could send you his info.
That's cool.
that'd be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's what I
Well,
was
we can
thinking, too.
talk. I know.
I could print out a pair of pants.
Yes. There you go.
That's the plan.
It could be like the ants in the pants game, but you shoot like swords into the pants or something
Yeah.
instead.
Right.
Until the pants come off, and then it's D-Maw's game. So
Hey,
Oh
hey-o.
my.
Crossover.
Pants off, dance off.
Crossover.
Gooey.
Hey,
Gooey. Crossover.
His pants in
It's
your
gonna
game.
print money printer. That's basically what it's going to be.
Hey.
Don't worry.
Oh,
Dude,
there goes Kiva
YouTubers are,
again.
like massive.
next, I'll
like,
turn around.
simp-
Oh, I'm falling in the floor. Oh,
Where did
no.
Johnny go? Did we lose him too?
Oh,
he's
right
right
here, right?
Oh, I fell into the floor all of a sudden.
hiding in the
Let's
bush.
see. Let me reset.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'll-
that didn't
I'll-
work this time.
Now
Worked
I'm
last
down.
time.
Oh, we all on the
Nobody
floor.
move.
Nobody died.
I'm even smaller than
Oh,
last
no.
time.
Move.
We're all on the floor. Oh,
Bunch of sniffers.
The
You gotta get
sniffer.
Jesse on this.
seat sniffers.
Sniff, I teleport.
The seat sniffer podcast. Come on.
Oh my.
Special A.
That's definitely what we need to call it.
We could just move the party to the floor if that's easier.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, there we go. Floor
Yeah.
party.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Floor gang.
Floor gang.
Dude,
I was like right in
yo,
the
can we get a
camera.
pants emoji that we can shoot
Oh, I like that.
out of the cannon? Let's get some. I want a pants emoji. Just shoot pants and a spicy pepper.
Spicy pepper. If someone's being spicy, you shoot them with it.
Yeah, shoot him with the spicy pepper. Where's Robert? I want to blast him.
There we go.
I'll shoot Johnny instead.
Johnny's robot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was your first game, Johnny?
My very first one, it was like I made basically like a choose your own adventure RPG in like a console window, so it didn't even have graphics, right? It was like press one to go to the store, right? Yeah, exactly.
shit. That's funny.
And then my second one was in Game Maker Studio. I like grew up in love with Mario and Sonic, so I made my friend in history class in high school. He would never take notes during history class. And so he had this crazy notebook of doodles. And so I was like, I want to make a game where like this doodle's trying to escape a notebook. And so my first game was called The Amazing Sketchbook. And I was a stick man trying to get out of like a crazy notebook page.
Nice.
Damn,
Oh,
I
nice.
think I
That sounds
played
pretty
that as a
cool.
kid, bro. Come on, I thought it was
Yeah, probably not because I didn't even know how to make a build, so I was.
Oh no, it
Yeah,
was someone else.
Like I didn't even have an Angel Fire website.
right. That too.
Angel Fire. Oh my god, dude.
Man,
I
haven't
knew
heard
someone
that in a while.
was going to be old enough and tech savvy.
How
in the 90s
old are
enough to
you,
do-
bro?
Right.
Get that reference?
Yeah.
Are we the same age? Are we actually?
Yeah, my hands are back.
Oh, man.
And my Pokemon fan site with Pikachu's Adventure and Pikachu's Adventure 2 and 3, the
Oh,
sequels.
right. I love it.
One was like a Frogger clone, like you kind of had to go across the street without getting ran over by Pokemon that were going back and forth for some reason, and then when you got to the Pokemon at the end, you saved him.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Hey, yo.
But you guys will never guess what my first game was.
What's that?
Was it a sushi game?
Yes. It was no, it was
Yes.
this game. This is my first. This is my first game, boys.
Forever?
You never
Like,
even
really?
Yeah, first ever.
Played
Yeah,
around
yeah, yeah.
and
Wow.
crazy.
Nope, never tried to make a game before.
Ooh.
Wow, cool.
That's
That's
crazy.
hot. So what made you want to make one now? Like I'm impressed.
I had an idea for a VR game, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, this is going to be
Okay.
easy," and then I did it.
That's yeah, right.
Like, I had an idea.
Damn.
Right.
Making
I
shit
can't tell
happen.
you.
Good
I don't want
job,
to. I don't want to tell you guys the origin story yet, but there was some the inspiration came from some cultured content.
Oh,
I think you gave that away with the
gooey content. Or...
the love exposure movie.
right.
I think we know your origin.
Yeah, no,
Right.
So I got this. I got inspired by something, and then I was like, "Ooh, that would be a good idea to solve VR narrative problems." And then I just started because I was in college doing VR, doing animation, whatever. Not even 3D animation. I was a 2D animator, and
Oh,
I
wow.
swapped like mid master's degree or something, and then
Wow.
yeah, and then I just started making.
I went
VR
for
game.
graphic design. I was making product labels. So, yeah.
Man.
It's a big leap. So yeah, then I just made, and this is it. This is my first.
That's a
first
pretty cool
game.
first.
I didn't go to
game.
college.
Yeah.
I've been making games since I was like 10, 12.
I don't
Wow.
recommend it.
Yeah, me
to be
too. But
honest.
I was like not smart
Yeah.
enough to like be like, let me do this for reals until like just last year. Like I was like, let me really make it.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I've always messed around with like my first like experience in game engines was the editor for Morrowind.
Oh,
Oh,
for sure.
that's
I
cool.
forgot. Yeah, that's a throwback for sure.
And
It's
then,
funny you
like,
guys say like RPG Maker was too hard for you because I remember opening the editor of Morrowind and like not being able to make heads or tails of it.
it came pretty naturally to me, and then like I don't know, the moment for me when I was like I got to do this for real is like I got let go of a job at a fucking warehouse, and then I was I ended up doing C# automation stuff, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I need to do more game stuff. Got to make the jump.
Got it.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
The only non-game
I-
thing I programmed was an ATM machine. Not very exciting. But
Did you,
I just paid
did
for
you
it.
print
So.
That's awesome, dude. That's
give
you're
you the
printing
money?
money, bro. Come on.
I know I should have put a back door into it.
Anytime you walk by, your heat signature triggers it to just shit money
Right.
everywhere.
Like a special code. Konami
Like
code
this
for the
50.
ATM machine.
Right.
Dude, there's got to be
Oh,
somebody
that's
that's done that, man. There's got to be like one person.
And
who's tried
naturally,
that.
right?
Yeah.
They need to make these things into like paintball guns.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
wow.
That would be
pretty
sweet.
good.
I want sound effects. I honestly want sound effects, but that would probably be like
Oh,
I think we're
that'd
about to
be
crash
great.
into
It's got to be like a sound
Yeah.
effect, like
Yeah.
a bonk or something. It hits someone in the face.
Right.
maybe you can
pick your
only
own.
hear it like on your like you can only hear your gun shoot or whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
they'll
so,
get
like, if you
annoying
could just-
quick, right?
Yeah, it would get
Yeah.
super annoying if you heard everyone else shooting, but if you could just hear
Yeah,
your
that's
gun
true.
shooting, I think that'd be
Right.
fun.
I don't know.
Just
There's a
the
lot of
headshots.
work that they could do to make Spatial Ape a lot better, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
But it's in Unity, right? So they're not
Exactly.
gonna-
So, they can only do so much because of Unity,
But it's easy to do. You just got to hit the asset store.
Yeah.
All
Dude,
this,
I
all
own
this probably came from the
40,000
asset store.
assets. I don't even do anything in Unity. I just buy them because they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
It
No,
sounds like you have a
that's a
collection
joke.
problem.
No.
I wouldn't be
see what you
surprised if
did
he bought the
there.
Humble Bundle.
See
He's
what
like
you did there,
$1,000 for stuff worth $20. I'll buy it. Like
right?
I just
all the music
no
production
joke
stuff I
with-
bought randomly ended up coming in handy later when I started making music for my games.
Oh,
No joke
Yeah,
with
your
the
music
Humble
in your
Bundle
game
stuff
is
though,
thick,
because
so
like
that was a good purchase, whatever you did. There.
yeah.
I just told PJ like,
I hired a guy to do our music. He gets a percentage of all the sales.
Oh, you gave him a percentage for the music? Wow.
Yeah, he found this on the product I worked on before Medieval Designer. He was like, I want to work on something like this.
Dude, sound designers and like music composers are the most aggressive fuckers on the planet, bro. Like, you, guys, you guys have seen my
Yeah,
Twitter
they
bio,
are.
right? Like, I had to put a little status in my Twitter bio that says "fuck off." I already have.
The guy that I got's pretty great. He's worked on some
Sound
movies and stuff.
designer.
He's pretty cool.
Oh, so you got like a real guy, like
Yeah, a real
Right.
A real
composer.
guy, dude. I had a real composer I was working with a long time ago, and he wanted rev share, and I'm glad I didn't go through with that.
No, I would have just bought the songs. And like, I give you $100 a song, and then if it was more than that, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's like worked on Hollywood movies. Like he worked on the recent Milan movie. So like
Yeah.
That's
I don't.
So you're gonna
Yeah,
have some like epic music in your games, basically. Yeah.
I couldn't
Right.
afford to pay for songs like that.
Nice.
Well,
He
he's
gets
gonna
re- he
wind,
gets
he,
rev
he
share.
might wind up making bank, bro. You just made that guy a ton of money.
It's in his
Right.
contract the maximum amount of money he can make. Okay.
Oh, that's a good fallback. I didn't really
yeah,
think you
that's
could do
super
that.
smart. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I mean, that's not a bad. Then that's not bad if you do it like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it's a certain amount he can make up to a certain amount of time as well. So it's like only 4 years after the release the game, something like that.
Because I don't want to give up that much equity in my project. Like I've already got like
Right.
this. Like if the publisher,
hurts.
like the publisher I go with, they're already taking a decent chunk, and then
Can you guys like talk about how much publishers take? Because I've never talked to one like that.
well, so
Me
there's
neither.
I read over my
there's
NDA
two-
and it doesn't say against it, so
Well, for mine, there's two options that kind of go off that are like industry standard. Is like there's the 70-30, where for the first until they recoup their investment, they get 70%, and then you get 30%.
oh, and so you get the
split-
recoup. That's really good.
Yeah, so when they recoup their price, and then after 30%, you get, or after they recoup, there's a split. It flipped back to where you get 70% of sales, and they get 30%. For
That's
like,
pretty good because I don't get nothing until
5
like,
years.
well, at least for the PlayStation VR, I don't get nothing until like they recoup. But I
Yeah,
got a
so
pretty
that-
good
see,
split
that's
after
like-
that.
I would call that kind of a bad deal, bro.
No, but they're only taking 10%. Well, no, but it's two things. For the digital, they don't have to recoup digital. I actually get 90%. They're only taking 10 on digital.
Oh,
Which
okay.
that'll probably
yeah,
most
that's right. You
sales
were doing
anyways.
some weird. thing.
Yeah, no, that was for the
Right.
for the PlayStation 5. And then on the PlayStation 5, for the physical though, that's where they're going to recoup first to get their like printing costs and
Oh,
everything.
okay. Yeah. Then that's,
And after
fine.
they
That's totally
recoup.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, and
there's
after they
also-
recoup, then it's 50-50 on physical. But I feel like the digital is going to be the bigger anyways. Cause
Yeah, that's gonna be the
So,
big
yeah.
bad, dude, for
So
sure.
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
guess in
yeah.
Europe they buy more physical games than they do like in the US.
Do
so-
they? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they were showing me like the numbers and like Japan is big. Like everywhere is bigger than the US actually for digital, but UK especially is like big. And I think I found out why. Like I was talking to someone from the UK and actually there's like this big like supermarket battle out there. And so while games are like $60 brand new everywhere else, if you go to the supermarket, the supermarkets are selling for $40 or $45. So they're all trying to undercut each other. So
Oh,
physical
that's
games are
funny.
like significantly cheaper than digital. I think that's why they're doing well out there.
Huh.
Plus,
Oh.
Wow.
one of our
There's just-
British friends will buy like every copy of a game on every system he owns to see what the differences are, and he'll play them all.
What?
That's so weird, dude. That's
and
so
he only
Wow.
buys from like a mom and pop shop nearby. So like he had
Wow,
GTA 5 on like the 360 and then the Xbox One, and he would play them both when they would get updates just to see what was different. And I'm like, what?
Huh. Wow.
I mean, everybody likes
Always
their own
like-
thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
a physical copy. He doesn't do download
dude-
purchases.
How
Robert, I wouldn't.
interesting.
I wouldn't take a deal that was lower than a 60-40% ratio.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just have to like talk to you and Tab separately about like how you guys did with your publishing stuff. So
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I
curious.
don't even know where to start with like publishing.
Me.
Like
You got to find a
me.
publisher or have them find you.
Stars got
Do
to
you-
align.
Yeah. Did you guys have to make like pitch decks and stuff?
Oh yeah, I can show. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
show you guys my pitch
Pitch
deck
sticks?
sometime.
Oh, yeah.
I would appreciate
Okay.
that because like I've like
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do? Like show them
Right.
these are pants.
My pitch decks kind of suck, but I gotta set my pitch deck. game.
Pants number 543 here. On
It's
this
just a
Right.
900-page slide deck with 900 pants.
I mean, there's several types of like pitch decks. So like for some companies, like flat games, they don't really want like a big ass pitch deck. But
Right.
for my VR, at least in my game's case, because it's so like different, it's not like a shooter. It's not like something that you can like
Explain
easily
easily.
explain. So we had to make a bigger
Right.
pitch deck. But most pitch decks, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yours was pretty
slides.
good though. I like how yours kind of like introduced, like his kind of had like a step by step. This is like the gameplay loop, and it
Oh,
had
did
kind
I
of
show
like an
you?
example
that?
of
I
it.
should. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I looked
posted
at
some-
yours. Yeah, yours was good. Like I
Mhm.
liked yours.
Mhm.
Wait,
I don't know if
the
you sent it to me
screenshots?
or I saw it.
I think it was the screenshots you must have seen. Because I don't think I've linked. it.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like I looked at the actual pitch deck itself or something. 'Cause I remember
it's on
looking
Google
through like the whole
Slides.
thing.
Yeah, I might
No,
have linked
wait.
it to you to be honest, but
You don't need to
yeah, I
worry
can
about
link
any
it
of
in
that
the
pitch
chat.
stuff. You go in with a sticker that says #spicy with a pile of 9,000 pants and just stick it right on the guy's desk. Just like,
No.
you're like,
Pants.
you know where to
Sunny.
find me.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I don't think it's going to work
Think
out.
about that.
That seems like the equivalency of just walking in and slapping your dick on the table. It's not going to work out too well.
Yeah, but you can't get the sticker
Didn't
off.
they do
It
that
says-
on Silicon
who's
Valley?
buying.
That was like they did that on Silicon Valley one episode. It could work. Yeah,
I saw one
They
guy's
did that in
demo
Wolf of Wall
reel.
Street.
yeah, dude. But dude, Robert, you need to just get your Twitter game up, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah,
Them
Twitter and
companies-
Reddit too, dude. You gotta endure the verbal abuse for the Reddit.
Well, just for
real.
like for Reddit, you
Oh,
just
man.
post it and leave it and never go back to it. You'll never know.
Well, the thing is, like,
Dude,
the
I am
thing is
not
Reddit,
good
it
at not
doesn't-
reading comments. It's a problem.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
just
is about
post
Reddit is it
Peace out.
pastes like what's trending is more based off like comments than it is like upvotes. Oddly enough, so like
Oh,
it is
wow.
actually important to respond. So if someone's like a dickhead, you can just like give them like a response back real quick.
Mhm.
And if you respond back to like the first person that like posts like responds quick enough, you can actually get it trending with just like a comment and a response. Like I've noticed.
Really, I actually didn't know. I thought it was like
If you're on one of the
I'm
less
just like
ones,
so not
like
good with that because like I
PBR.
posted one thing on Reddit one time and somebody was like, "I've seen that asset before," and I was like, "Why don't you suck a dick?"
If you started an argument with it, that could make a trending post.
Spicy.
You know what's nice about Reddit though is if your game looks good enough, other people will tell them to eat a dick for you, like which
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
Even better,
that's
yeah.
true.
Nice.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
true.
Yeah, people talk way more on Reddit than they do on Twitter. Like I get way more comment action on Reddit than I do on
That's
Twitter.
true.
Yeah, it's because with Twitter, it's the people that like your stuff or like your friend's stuff. So it's they're probably gonna be into it. But on Reddit, it's just
Right.
out there. Whoever wants to roll up on looking it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like. I mean, on Twitter though, there is that one guy I sent you guys that screenshot or whatever who
Mhm.
always flames
Uh,
Twitter devs or whatever.
Yeah, his name starts with an M. Magma.
Yeah,
Cream or
like
something.
meta.
Oh, yeah,
something,
yeah.
Dude. He just like he'll go and he'll just shoot the most wild shit onto like any Twitter dev, but he'll
Yeah.
also compliment them at the same time. Like,
How
I
interesting.
know, like it'll be like, oh, this looks so great. The next one's like, oh, you're still using that laser
Yeah.
pointer for the
that's
teleporter.
what he
It's like,
did.
well,
He did that. He's like,
Yeah.
oh man, how do you make a game look this good? And then his next comment was like, oh, you're still using those shit grips.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like, bro, fuck off.
Yeah.
The tastiest piece of shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, see that's
Right.
why I need a social media person because like I would just tell that dude to go eat a dick. Like I can't. I can't.
you
I
can't
can't
because
with
he's your
the
loyal
stupid.
fan that like comments like positively on like 3/4 of your stuff.
Yeah, it's like half the stuff he's nice about, and the other half he's like shits on you, and he does it to every Twitter dev I've seen that does VR.
So I should just like pre-block the dude, and I guess.
What's
yeah, I mean,
this
you
dude's
you
name?
could.
So you can
It's like
I think it's
No.
Magma
Meta-
Cream.
Magma
Magma
Cream.
Cream.
Yeah, Magma.
Magma Cream? No
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, maybe with
He's
numbers.
who you
it's
got to
like
talk
at
to
the
about the
end.
goo
Huh.
physics. Clearly.
Oh,
You'll see
wow.
him everywhere.
Wow.
You'll see him.
That guy's never
everywhere if
been
you-
mean to me. That's interesting.
See,
'cause
there
people
even
love
you
being
know
mean.
who he is.
I don't.
Yeah.
He's like being. I think he thinks he's like helping us by.
No, I know, dude. I don't know. He'll take a screenshot of my shit and then circle the hand. Look at this shit grip. I'm like, hey, I'm like,
It's that much work, like talking shit about
Bro.
something.
this is like a tech demo, bro. But because he flamed me so much for my grips, it made me realize that I was an idiot when I was developing, and I should have just hid the hands anytime it grabbed something.
That's what we do for Medieval Designer
Exactly,
and
dude.
for
That's like the
Heartlands.
best solution because
Yeah,
making
it's
grip
like-
for every
Like
single
if you're holding a
prop,
sword in like Heartlands, you don't have your hand. If you cast a spell, you
Yeah.
don't have your hands. Why do you need that?
yeah,
Yeah, you don't really need it because when you look at the sword, you know you're gripping the sword, so you know where
Exactly.
your hands are. Like
Ah,
it fills your
exactly.
pencil,
And it
versus-
saves
I mean, that's how
smart.
Super Hot does it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation Simulator
Mhm.
does that, and it looks fine.
Yeah.
Like no one
It works
complains
great.
about
I mean, who the fuck has
Right.
time to make hand positions for all your objects? For
Mhm.
fuck's
Sure,
sake,
I
by
got
the
mine
time
automated.
There's thousands. There could be thousands of objects. I was actually
by the
gonna
time
hire-
Heartlands is done, it's gonna have like 6,000 items and you can interact with. I don't have time for
Dude,
that.
Robert, I got an
Right.
idea for you. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hire a college intern to make hand poses. I'm gonna pay them like $15 an hour.
I bet you
So,
could
like-
find because if you go on Unity, there's an asset that'll do it for you.
There's something for Unreal Engine too, but I'm not wasting ray traces on fingers. Fuck that.
No, with the one in Unity, well, there's two. There's two ways you could do. You can have pre-posed ones, but it uses the ray traces to save them. So you just kind of put the item in, and the fingers are kind of boop 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 boop, like popping up and down. And then once it looks kind of good, you can be like, yeah, that's it, and then you can make the fine adjustments. And
That's
then
pretty cool.
for the
That's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
use it like
'cause if
that.
it's
And
not
so I
doing
have
that-
most of my things set like that. Like the swords, you got to grip them like certain ways, but like I have like those little luck cats, and those are just dynamic. It just uses a few ray casts to kind of like get those to grip it like correctly.
And it does
uh,
that like on the fly. Like
Yeah, that one it does on the fly, and sometimes you get it weird ones like I mean, the hands aren't tracked here, so I can't demonstrate. But sometimes you'll be pinching it with like the back of your hand or something. But like, yeah, it works pretty well. It's pretty like reliable, and then it's nice. It's quick for making the save poses too, which is what I use for like weapons.
yeah,
and,
that's
like,
what I
ninja
would like.
stars,
That's what
yeah.
would be interesting using for the save. But still, even though you're still making like you're still at the end of the day would be making a pose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like,
it
that's still
speeds it
a
up a
lot.
long time because it's like a fist, and then
Yeah.
you just kind of move the sword into the fist, and the fingers kind of
Mhm.
pop up and close, and like once it's where you like it, then you could just save that pose for like that object.
So,
It's
yeah, that's pretty
nice.
cool.
That's
not
still a
that's
lot to do over like 6,000 items, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
but a lot like at least for me, like a lot of the poses are interchangeable because I have different sword models, so I just use the same sword grip pose for
Yeah,
all
that's
of the
true.
swords.
That's smart.
But
I've
yeah, I
got a
mean, I
bunch
agree
of,
though
like,
too that it's not like
different
you don't.
assets
It's
and
not
stuff.
necessary.
Right.
Especially if you're just doing a quest game. People on the quest, they just want games.
Yeah.
Right.
They actually
right.
Exactly why I'm
content,
aiming
right?
for it.
Dude,
There's a hole in the market, and I'm gonna fill it.
I mean, I don't
Slash
know.
spicy. Or
At
how-
Launchpad,
Here we go
me
with
and
the
Johnny
group
were in
comments again.
Launchpad last year, Robert. And,
Do what?
like that was one of their big things they were talking to us about was like they have a market for like narrative based games and more like
Mhm.
casual,
Right.
a bigger casual audience that doesn't want to do like high octane action, just more like
Yeah.
exploring and
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
and narrative stuff like is like really the biggest growing market right now. It's like the hungriest
Right.
market actually. People that enjoy
Yeah.
narrative content will like spend tons of
Mhm.
money.
Right.
That's kind of what's missing a lot on the quest too. There's like a lot of like
Yeah.
mini games, which are cool because like they take advantage of VR, but it would be
Right.
nice to have a little more like.
That's what I
depth,
say.
a little
Like
bit of story.
that's why Robert's getting in at a good time, and it's the same as like my game is very narrative based. So like,
Right.
we'll tap into that
Yeah.
hungry market.
Absolutely.
And there's no competition.
Hopefully it does well.
Right?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I apparently definitely got to get my Twitter game up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm telling you, bro,
Uh,
get your Twitter game up. Because what I saw back there was great. Like I thought it was pretty good. It
Right.
looked fun.
Did
Yeah,
you see the
people are
torch
gonna
thing on the
love
wall?
that.
That's your fault.
The what thing?
The torch thing on the wall. I got
Oh
like,
yeah,
torches
I
working
noticed.
on the
I
quest.
noticed my improvements to your game.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. That's your fault.
I love it.
Um,
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
funny.
I just think you just need to clip those videos up and make them digestible in short bursts.
That's a
And
good
then
idea. Yeah.
Well retweet them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, of course
just
you've got us.
Pretend
Yeah,
this canon is your video, and these are your clips.
Yeah,
Every day.
There we go. Like that. Like that.
All over my
Cast.
face.
Yep,
Exactly.
all
All
over. I think
over.
that's his game.
Yeah. All over.
We'll get your pants on everyone.
It's also can be pretty random though. Like you might get you might tweet into the void for like half a month
Yeah.
or something
Mhm.
before you get a
It's
hit
the most
tweet.
bizarre thing.
It's kind of
Yeah.
about building too, because like you kind of build up a little bit at a time with Twitter.
But see,
Mhm.
that's Tab's Twitter game is like he'll like just like spam tons of content, and his Twitter
Right.
follower just slowly starts building. I get nervous every time he's about to catch me. I'm like, oh god, I gotta get that hit tweet. You know? Yeah, I subconsciously I compete with your Twitter followers, Tab.
Yeah, I can't. If we were competing, you would win. I mean, I get like that
Well,
regular,
I'm winning
like
now,
800,
but
200. Like
you
I
were
was-
catching up to me though, like last month before I had that last viral tweet. Like you were like really
Yeah.
catching up to me. I was like, shit, I need to put out content.
I just got to
I
like
don't get my own
300
tweets like that. I think I
last
got
month,
like
and I was like, holy shit, that's cool as fuck. So
Yeah.
I can't really compete.
I think my
Tab has,
biggest
like,
on
a
Twitter.
steady
I think I had like
stream.
800 for my pitch a game entry.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was
Oh,
big,
man.
so
Pitch
like
a
it
games
kind
are
of built
great.
up over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Twitter, no, Reddit. I think I hit 2,000 on a post. But man, you get in the thousands like regularly.
Well, but
Wow,
it
not
hasn't
bad.
always been like this. But I'm impressed by your like your steady gain of followers because I only get them in bursts. Like
Yeah.
you constantly get followers and tons of like quote tweets too. I see lots of people always quote tweeting your game. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You got high user engagement
Yeah.
for your stuff. That's pretty.
Yeah, I
good.
think what's nice about my game too is it being all physics based and stuff. It kind of
Yeah.
lends to clip. I'm like kind of like surprised I haven't gotten like I was thinking like once I posted it, people are gonna catch all these clips of like crazy kills they got and like people falling off cliffs and stuff. And no one posted anything. I was like, where's the clips?
Right.
I need to have a clip contest soon.
Right. Oh, you
Yeah.
should totally. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get people to play your game. It's probably even twice as hard to get someone to like, make
yeah.
content for you.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
got like streamers to do it. Like they liked it, and like
Mhm.
the YouTubers. You got a couple YouTube videos, but yeah, not that. I was surprised not to see like too many clips.
How
Is
are
there
you
like an
gonna-
invisible
it's
person,
hard,
or is there
though.
someone behind like the thing? Like where are those emojis coming from?
Oh, me? Is it me?
Wait,
No.
are you?
You just got
Wait,
dissed,
no.
Johnny.
Oh man, yeah, right. He
Are you
sees
behind
right
me?
through me. How dare you?
No, dude. I
Wait.
think he maybe
No?
he can't see Johnny.
I really
Oh,
can't see
man.
him. Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh no, Johnny! I don't see Johnny
So-
at all.
Should I be
I
like
see him.
uncomfortably close? Oh yeah, now I'm like on top.
You're like a
of you.
disembodied voice.
Yeah,
That's
It's
so
like in Star
funny.
Trek when you're in another dimension.
Johnny's
like
right
we
here,
can hear you, but we
guys.
can't see you.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't see him. Last time I was in here,
You're
someone
standing-
disappeared too. The person giving a talk disappeared. No one could see them.
I think that happened to me during the
I'm a Mario.
Spatial pitch last week.
Mario, right? It's Tab Yoshi. Is that? How's your game doing on Itch, Tab? Because you just dropped your game on Itch too, right?
Not too bad. I think I've made about 600 in sales. So
That's cool.
Holy shit.
Wow,
That's pretty
I'm
good,
jealous.
thanks. It is.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess not too
Yeah.
bad for like just the itch launch. Like hopefully
That's great.
Steam is not $600, but yeah, so not too bad. I was actually surprised. You know, it made why I consider it successful because I thought because it is very early. There's not a lot of stuff in there, but it's gonna have a lot of stuff. So
Right.
that's why I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to like sell it for too cheap. So I put it up there for $30, knowing it doesn't have $30 worth of content. And I try to explain that in the description, but so far
Right.
no one's bought it and came back pissed saying I paid $30 for this crap. I thought that was gonna happen.
Damn, dude.
But no one's
Wow.
buying yet, so
So, I had an interesting question. Like, someone asked me what I was going to charge for Heartlands, and honestly, that's been a point of contention for me because, like, I haven't really made my mind up on that.
$50.
Well,
Charge what you think it's
I-
worth, and people will see the price and they'll be like, "This is expensive," but it's probably because it's a good VR game.
Like my
Right.
honest thought was probably like, I'm not like a large developer, so $30 seems like a lot. But also, the game is holy shit complex. So, like,
Yeah, and if you look at the content, I mean, just look at the value. What other people are paying like $20-$30 for, and what
That's
they're getting,
true.
and then you know what they're getting out of your game. And even if it is
Right.
like purchased assets or whatever, like
yeah,
just the depth alone, I think will sell it. And
Right.
the higher it is, the more kind of flex you have if you want to put it on sale. And
True.
putting it on sale
Yeah.
is good because that gets you on the front of store pages and things like that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's why people mark their games. They sell them more expensive, and then they just only sell it during sales.
Right.
Very, very common tactic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just throw stuff on their Steam wish list and wait for it to go on sale. That's what I do. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I'll buy games just because they're on sale. It's like, I'm probably not going to be able to play this for months, but it's $10 instead of $50, so I'm going to buy it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Damn those Steam summer sales.
oh, I know.
Those same summer, so
It's like, how can I say no to like a $3 game? Like,
I know, right? Oh, I have so many games. I'm never gonna play all these games.
Say to yourself,
it's like
not
I
a
never even
$3
heard of this
game.
game, but it's from like the 1990s and it's
Right.
like $2, so it's probably
right.
good. Like, if it's survived that long, it's probably a good game. Like if people are still buying in and
Right.
playing it.
You got to tell them
Never
it's
really-
not a $3 game. It's a $3 hooker because
Hey.
it's a little dirty, a little seedy.
Okay.
A little rough around the edges.
Gonna
I
be,
mean,
you're gonna keep it in the back of your head, and you're gonna feel guilty about it.
I was going to put a love hotel in my game, so that's right up my alley.
That works. That checks out.
It checks that tracks. I'm going to try to play it safe so I don't get like defunded, but it'd be great. Yeah, because you don't get all that funding at once, right? We have to get it in milestones.
Right. That's what I heard.
So like every few months, I have to like give them an update or whatever. And then-
You
Even
gotta
with
make sure you're actually working.
that was the case
Huh?
with Launchpad 2.
yeah,
Yeah, because I was a part of two projects, right? I had Galactic
Yeah.
Bar Fight, and then I had Rhyme Chamber, and Rhyme Chamber won it, and they were going to
Yeah, Rhyme Chamber
distribute
was
it in
cool.
like chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
So can you talk more about like how Launchpad worked? Because I thought about applying to that, and I was like, it seems like they're going to be like, here's $1,000, get the fuck out of here.
Well, it could be
Rhyme
less
Chamber
than
got
that if you don't-
25. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they gave us 25 for Rhyme Chamber, which honestly I don't think that's enough for making a VR game. But 25,000.
It's not supposed to
better than
like. It's
zero.
not supposed to. It's not for funding your game. It's literally for
Right.
just giving you a boost.
okay.
That makes sense.
It's called launch pad, not the full
fair.
ride pad. You know what I'm saying?
That full ride pad.
All right,
It's just to get you like started, like to
Right.
find more funding. Like it gets you,
Got it.
it gets you a little bit of
Right.
notoriety, and then it gets
That's
like.
true.
That makes sense, yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that when I first did it because I was devastated that I didn't finish my game in time
Right.
for Launchpad because we had to like redevelop the portal to the manga panel tech to work
Mhm.
for Quest or whatever, and
Mhm.
yeah, we spent all of our time doing R&D on that rather than making the demo. So,
Mhm.
but it paid off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get that
absolutely.
much money from Launchpad, but you get free hardware.
True.
Like they give you free VR headsets that you could.
That's
like,
pretty
sweet.
to teammates.
Oh, nice.
I think it was
Yeah.
worth it for the networking too, right? Because I met
Yeah, the
Gmon and a
networking.
lot of
Yeah,
other
exactly.
dope
That's
creators.
you meet a lot of cool people.
Right.
You learn a lot about like the economics behind and like the analytics behind like what Oculus does and why they do the things they do. They tell you
Right,
all this
right.
cool shit, like all their research and
Right.
trends and all this stuff.
Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of good talks
Right.
about that kind of stuff. And then it also gets your foot in the door with Facebook. Like it lets you
True.
have contacts there that could put you through the pitch process they have.
Right. Absolutely.
And they fund like normally Facebook will fund like 35% of your game, and then
wow.
they'll recoup. So then they'll try to recoup it off of only Quest sales. So they won't try to recoup off of PSVR sales or HTC
Yeah.
sales.
Right.
Or if your game, or if you don't need, like if your game was like, you don't need that much funding, like say you need like anything under 200,000, they will they'll give it to you as a grant if they like your game,
Oh, nice.
and so and you don't
That's
have to
pretty
pay
nice,
it
yeah.
back or they don't recoup it. It's just they
Mhm.
and the best thing about Oculus is that they don't want like exclusive content. Like,
Right.
They're not
Right.
trying to like.
They don't care because everyone only has Quest anyways.
Well, yeah, but
Right, exactly.
Competition.
Even PSVR is not really like looking for like highly, at least from indie devs, right? From indie devs,
Right.
they're not trying to like strangle the market or whatever.
Right.
So they know.
Even then, they're only
they-
asking for like timed exclusives, from what I've heard. Like recently.
No,
like,
not even timed
yeah.
exclusives. Not even timed exclusives.
Alright.
They don't even want timed exclusives.
Nice. Hopefully, they don't want time from me. 'Cause
Because I
Try
know,
to get it on
well,
the
there
PC
is
and
all right,
Quest.
there is one VR hardware company that wants time exclusives, and I can't say who it is, but and I would recommend not taking that
yeah.
deal.
Got
Because you won't get funding. It'll make it where you won't get funding from
Nice.
Facebook or Sony. Because Sony also has a similar indie dev program where you can get up to about 200,000 in funding, just grant money.
Nice.
But if you
How
take
Is
do
there any
exclusivity
reason you
deal,
can't double dip in that?
Yeah, really.
You can get as much money.
Yeah,
from
that's
all
what's nice about
companies as you
grants.
want.
That's the kind I meant about it.
How
But
do you
you
find these grants?
There's one right
Yeah.
over there.
I have to wait. I have to wait. I mean, yeah, actually, Spatial Ape right here got me in the door for at least a publisher.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, but anyways, like, I'll tell my story when everything's all finalized or whatever. I can't really talk about it right now, but
Got it.
yeah, I have connections, I guess you could say.
It's like,
Yeah.
I know people.
I know people.
No, that's what it takes. It takes to know people to get your foot in the door. Like you got to
Right.
get
It
your
does,
foot
yeah.
in the door, and then once they play your game, they'll see the value in it, and they'll be like, "Yeah,
That makes sense.
this is But both Sony and Oculus are not trying to like compete for indie games. They're not trying to like get exclusive titles.
Right.
So, like if you sign an exclusivity deal with one company, that means you won't get money from Sony, or you might not get money from Facebook. Because they want launch parity. All these companies, they want launch parity, except for like some companies
Right.
trying to like do exclusives. But that'll kill your funding chances. You take exclusive.
Exclusives just suck.
Even if it's limited exclusivity, even if it's like 6 months, Facebook and Sony will be like, "Nah, sorry, that's not something."
We don't want your leftovers.
Yeah. Nobody's going to play your game for that 6 months. You're going to lose your whole shot, probably.
Yeah. So it's definitely something you have to think about when you start like getting deals and things. So you have to be careful. But if you don't need the funding from like Facebook, and then you like, then it doesn't matter, if that's not something you need. Because you might not even know if you'll get the funding from Facebook, right? So like essentially you're just sitting there wheeling and dealing all these different like funding sources, and you have no idea if any of them are going to pan out, and you get like term sheets for one, and then you're like, what do I do? Do I sign this? Do I wait? What's the risk? It's fucking stressful as shit, dude. But it's over. I don't have to do this anymore.
Not for this game.
Not for this.
How
This is
big
the
are you
only
looking
game
to
I
make your
This is the
studio?
only game
You know
I'm
yet?
ever making, by the way. Like I'm not.
Well,
I'm not here to make other games
oh, all right. Interesting.
because it's a game that doesn't end. So it's like essentially it'll turn into like sort of like a semi games as service type thing where every
Oh, that
few
could be
months
cool.
there's like new content. Like in my
Yeah.
game, that's all like character based and like narrative driven. So like every new character that I can add to the game will impact the game's story and change like different dynamics between characters and things like that. So it's like Genshin Impact, and so you can just without the gambling. I'm probably not doing like the gotcha shit. But yeah, you just get new characters like nonstop, and I'll just keep adding to the game forever until I get old and die, I guess.
That lends itself to episodic content, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's we're calling it seasonal content, but that might change because people think of like Fortnite seasons and like
Yeah, where it's
But
just like
it's
extra
supposed to be
outfits
like
and stuff.
it's supposed to be anime seasons, so like every
Oh, that makes sense. You
every-
can call it sagas.
saga,
Because manga,
yeah,
you could call it
sagas,
issues because it's just
books.
issues of manga.
Yeah, maybe issue. I think maybe issues or like volumes or
Prints.
Oh yeah, volumes, because that kind of
Yeah,
implies
yeah.
there's like
Yeah, I think-
more
I think
content to
volumes
it than
would
an
be-
issue.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
That'd be cool. And then each one can have like a little manga cover. So like, that would
Yeah,
be great.
exactly, right? Yeah. So you can just buy DLC, and that DLC will come with a bunch of characters, and then it'll come with like new narrative arcs, for your world or whatever.
Nice.
It's basically gonna be like a waifu collector game at some point, where you're just like getting all your favorite e-girls.
You got to go around to each apartment and feed each one.
Yeah. So you have to like, it'll be you could probably have a what do you you can have multiple
Polyamorous?
It's like harems and shit. You could probably like build your own harem.
You don't know. You know what harems are. Those things where there's a bunch of girls and that stuff that I'm obsessed
Yeah,
with.
no, but that's kind of like the idea, though. Is like you could totally do that in my game because like you can like date people and do all that kind of stuff. Maybe not.
A bunch
I don't
of
know about getting
Tamagotchis.
married or anything. Yeah.
That one pooped. I
Yeah,
gotta
you
go
have to
clean
take
it
care
up.
of your waifu or she'll like
I
starve.
gotta wipe her bottom.
That's
cool. Yeah, where did Johnny go?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
we
was
lost
thinking of-
Johnny. Battery.
We just
died.
lose Skiva
Yeah, his
too.
battery died.
No, he's
up
up
here.
on the wall.
He was like,
he's
he's walking the
Oh,
perimeter.
he's like sniping us from
Yeah.
up there.
I am.
He's got the high ground.
Yeah, dude. Fun stuff.
So what
Yeah,
else
we're
is on
coming
the
up
what else was on the list for this week? Or we
I think that was
wrapping
it.
up?
I think I was.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours.
And we did it.
Oh, wow.
Are we? Wow, the time went fast.
Yeah. Been
Wonder how
very
many,
informative for me. I don't know about you guys, but you know.
Emotes
I'm a
we've
wealth
shot.
of knowledge.
That was very close.
Sorry.
Well, this is definitely great. I'm gonna have to come back here and chill for these more often because
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
all sorts of dev stuff. It's fun.
cool.
Today was
Very
less
nice.
technical. A lot of times we'll talk about like tech art and like physics and all sorts of
Yeah.
wacky stuff like that.
Oh,
Sweet,
one thing I did want to like, maybe we could save it for next time, is like one of your favorite bugs that you've had in your game. I've had some
Oh,
really
yeah, that'd
fucking
be
funny
nice.
ones.
Yeah,
That might
that'd
be
be
fun.
cool. It'd be cool if we could like sync them up to the video thing here, you know? Like take
Yeah.
a video of the
Yeah,
bug.
we really need the ability to like play a video or something there. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That would
if
be
we could
pretty
ever
cool.
figure out how to get like live video playing on here when we do talks, it'd be super fun.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
working on it to where I can control what's there. So
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
that would be
nice.
super sick because
Yeah.
If you could,
then we could like
I think
show
if they have
stuff.
that up by the time we do the Comic Con thing, maybe we can like broadcast it live here.
Somebody
So, like,
just
people-
needs to build a VR podcasting app.
Mhm.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
We
that'd
probably
be nice.
should.
You can do some
What are you
great
doing
stuff
tomorrow,
in Neos
Robert?
for podcasting.
And what?
In Neos?
Neos?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used that before.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah,
Neos.
no, like,
it's like
it's supposed to be like a replacement for VR chat or something.
yeah, but it is so next level. It's ridiculous. It's more like the Oasis from Ready Player One than anything I've
I
ever
don't really
seen.
get
Yeah,
VR chat
really.
either though. Just
They,
use like some
uh,
non-performance stuff.
Those guys are be on the podcast soon. I would just watch my first movie in there, their live action movie. In
Oh,
Neos.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
sweet.
Doesn't Neos only work on PCVR though?
Yeah, there is a Quest port. It's they're working on it, but right now, yeah, it is it's a monster, man. It is a beast of a system. I mean, you can just
Wow.
go in there and just create. Everyone can just hop in a room and just make amazing things. You know, you don't like how your avatar works, you can just edit it right on the fly. You know, you can add logics to things and just it's just an amazing platform, and I don't know why
Awesome.
it isn't just even bigger than it is. So it'll get there though. It's fantastic. It's one of the best VR experiences I think that there is, period.
All right,
So-
well, I guess
Never even heard of
try
that
it
one.
sometime.
feel bad.
Mhm.
To check it out. I tried VR chat, but it's too much to like figure out, find the good stuff in it, you know?
Yeah. If
I
you guys
didn't really
if
get VR chat. Yeah, I don't get it.
you guys want any kind of Neos tour, let me know, because you got to get in there with someone that already knows what's going on. Otherwise, you'll be
Mhm.
like, "Holy shit, this is beyond overwhelming."
Yeah, I might take you up
No.
on that because like I got into VR chat and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. Like, am I supposed to talk
Yeah,
to
it's
people?
like I'm a hot
I don't want to
dog
talk to people in the
and-
real world. Why would I want to talk to them virtually?
And that's all VR chat
We
has
jumped
to
in one of
offer.
those.
Yeah.
It's just people, right? But Neos, you can do all kinds of things. You can.
I
build,
tell you one
you can
thing I
make
wanted to
things, you
do
can-
just because it seems like it might be cool. And my wife said I was too old for this, so fuck it, I'm gonna do it in VR instead. Is I want to go to a fucking rave in like VR.
Oh yeah, dude, there's raves all over the place in VR chat.
I was thinking about
and
making like a
Neos.
rave themed game. Like,
I've never been to one, and I
There's
said I
insane things that
and, like-
happen in these
like
platforms.
before COVID, there was
Yeah.
a big community of that in Richmond, Virginia, and I was like, I want to go to a rave, and she was like, you're too old for that.
that's
Yeah.
old.
Dude, are you in your 20s? You are not
I'm
too old
26.
for a
Yeah.
rave.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
young, dude. Fuck off, bro. You're like
I mean,
a
don't be
child,
snorting
dude.
ecstasy, but you can totally hop into raves, man.
26
There's no-
is too old for
Yeah,
raves, bro. Come
right?
on,
That's
dude.
ridiculous. But no,
That's
the things
insane.
that you will like, there's crazy shit that goes on in these platforms, man.
We
There's
could-
like
I'll
even-
have to
you know,
message you
you
on
wanna
Twitter
talk
after
about-
this.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about Goop. Man, there's like legit orgies in those places that are
Yeah, dude, there's
teledildonics.
Okay, never
and
mind. I
body
think I'm
haptics and just
gonna stay out.
insanity. Insanity. No, you gotta
That's why you need
I'm
a tour
just
guide to
saying,
like guide you to
it
the right
goes
rooms.
everywhere.
You know what you walk into.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta know
We
what you're
could
walking into.
1 month we could do that as a group and like.
Oh, that's
not
what I was gonna
do
say.
this
was-
here, and we could.
Little field trip.
You could do
There you
that,
go.
and you could maybe
There you go.
stream if it's PC since it's a PC VR app. You could
Hmm?
stream the output,
Yeah.
right?
I built out the entire Between Realities set within Neos, including just everything, man. It's just so
Oh,
sick
nice.
in there. It's so
Yeah,
sick
yeah.
in
We'll
there.
have to go. We'll have to go do it.
Yeah.
Let's do a tour maybe next month or whatever for our next podcast.
Yeah, hit
sounds
me
good.
up on Twitter, guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do it.
Yep.
Field trip. That's funny.
Field trip. Yeah, dude, we can
Field
start having VR
trip.
field
We
trips.
all need an
bro.
accountability buddy and a curfew and shit.
I
I'll
think that'd
cover
be really
Robert's
fun.
eyes when we get in naughty places.
Well, we're not
You're
going to
too-
wander
you're
in
too
any of
young
those
for this.
places.
You're too young.
Your
You gotta
TikTok's out of
know
my
people
face,
to get in
Dima.
those places. Yeah.
Must be 30 and over.
Yeah, those aren't just places that you just walk into. You have to be invited into those places. They're locked down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got the invite.
Yeah.
You gotta be on the list.
I'll go
Yeah.
work on that. I'll
Yeah.
go find some people.
I'll get us on the list.
Get us on the list.
I can get you on
Yeah.
lists, but man, I don't know. It's weird in there if you're not like into it. I'm not into
You
it.
can't
So.
you can't do air quotes with your Tic Tac hands, Dima. I'll research.
I'm gonna make a model eventually. That's gonna
It's
look
so
like-
easy. Just go on the Spatial Ape website.
No, I want to make my own.
He
I
wants
don't
to be
like using
Sushi
other-
Ben. It's
I
gonna
don't
be
like
Ben.
using
Ah.
presets from other places, so I want to make my own.
This is
It'll
Ready Player
scan
Me,
your-
man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
scan your photo and just make one.
Yeah.
No. It's got to be artistic. These are like.
I scanned my
weird.
ass and look what I got. It looks just like my face.
I don't know. I think mine is pretty accurate, actually. I was pretty.
Yeah,
Mine's
that's
pretty
like-
close.
Yeah, me too.
Mine's
I was
pretty-
pretty surprised.
That's the equivalent of like scanning your or like photocopying your ass in the office back in the day. Like,
You make a Ready Player Me out of it.
Ready
it's
player
funny that
cheeks.
you just. I guess you don't have a very hairy ass, or at least one part of your ass is hairy. Because look at this, dude. You got your beard down here, and then your.
I think this
Where
might be
beard
the
is
taint
different
going
hair
on.
that's
You know.
picking up.
It's
Oh my God. That would make a good TikTok video if you like scanned your ass and then and put it into a VR game. And generate or whatever
Draw a face on it and try to get it to
generated.
recognize it.
Yeah,
You
try
go
to
into a
get
game
your
where it like
face,
try to
that would be
move,
hilarious.
tries to move your
You
mouth
could fake
while you
it
talk.
and just say you did it, and that's what.
Could put those wax lips in your crack and it would make a face out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yuck!
Oh god, that'd be
A
sick.
couple of candy corns, you're on your way.
I'd retweet that video for sure.
I'd probably try to get it taken down. We gotta clean up this cesspool.
It'll get like 1 million likes, and then Wookiee's like getting it removed.
Yeah, I'm posting that one. The amount of buttholes on the internet is too damn high. This is the straw right here. I know this, man.
That's it. That's the one too many buttholes. That was the straw. We reached it. Sorry, PJ.
Damn it. Oh, you guys are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
I kind of want to
All
ask
right.
him what the count is for these emotes.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
we
exhausted. I'm
Yeah,
exhausted.
kind of do.
We always
broke
tie
them.
the Thursday before when there's 40 people in here, so that's pretty
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
might have beat it this time.
Yeah, this time we did. Yeah. Dude, that was awesome. Like that event last week was great. I had a lot of fun.
I missed it. I meant to come and I missed it.
I
Yeah.
had, I had
Yeah.
like.
I can't get out of work early enough. It sucks.
I think that's when I was making pants. I don't remember.
Yeah, you were making
I just-
pants. That's right. Yeah.
I see you with like a digital like needle and thread, and you're just like making pants.
Yeah, can you
Hey,
make them
you
in
don't know
VR
how much
with your
stuff I do
hand?
in VR, man.
I don't.
Do we want to know how much stuff?
No, we don't.
No, not
We
really,
don't
no.
know that.
I mean, I haven't been in Neos clearly, so it's not that.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, I think I'm gonna log off and go to bed.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So
Have a good night.
Yeah.
this was
Thanks,
fun,
guys.
boys.
Have a great
Nice to
month.
meet you.
Catch y'all. Yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
meet you. Finally,
Nice to meet you.
I see you on Twitter all the time. So, see you guys.
Right
Push the off button.
off,
I'm gonna
guys.
head out to get some dinner and some beers going. Have a good night,
Adios.
everyone.
Don't forget to leave it in the
Later.
bottle.
Yeah, right. See you guys.
Is
Later.
this the new wave in VR? Like,
Yeah.
The spooky?
Like the above dab or whatever.
You got to get the weird neck going on. All right, then. I guess I'm
Yeah.
last. All right, guys.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
I'm gonna go peek
on
in
the
your booth
booth
one
and
more time.
and the progress. I mean, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the booth turned out, to be honest. I mean, I wish I would have had more assets, but I like it.
You would have
Yeah.
tanked it.
Yeah, exactly.
We got
You know,
300
Unity.
guns.
Now that they can't be here to defend Unity, you know. All right, guys.
Showtime.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, man.
See ya, man.